Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Hey, if you miss something, you'll want to go back and get caught up. All 3 hours going to be posted upon the conclusion of the program today, both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. Hey, I'm excited. Good times. We got Lonnie Alameda, Florida State University softball coach, set to join us in the 5 o'clock hour to celebrate the story of stories, and that is this team competing for a national championship beginning tonight against Washington. Let me note right here at the outset, before I get to Coach Martin's mistake, I want to get to the celebration of those young ladies and their win that obviously propelled them last night into this game, this first game against Washington for the national championship. We have that action play-by-play right here tonight at 6:45, beginning our coverage with Westwood 1, 7 o'clock, first pitch. So if you're working late or you're unable to get in front of a television and you'd like to listen to the quest for the national title from this softball team, which is certainly, I think, capturing the hearts and minds of fans everywhere. Just a likable bunch, and you talk about a tough, gritty group, huh? Man, they're talented. They're special. Let's hope they bring it on home. Anyhow, that game, the first one, will be aired tonight right here on our airwaves, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. We'll have all three games if it goes 3. Let's hope it goes 2. Let's hope it's a 2-game sweep for Florida State, and we're celebrating a national championship. Lonnie Alameda, whose team avenged the losses, if you will, to LSU, then later on found a way to continue to battle in so many tough situations, including facing elimination 6 different times this year. They won every time when that has happened. She will join us in the 5 o'clock hour live from Oklahoma City to talk about this special group and this team whose chance tonight is to start off, obviously, on a quest to bring home that national title. And she'll join us. We'll talk about that team. I'm excited about it. Obviously, the other big story of the day that's not nearly as uplifting and infinitely frustrating, and thank goodness for the softball team, because I'll be honest, without it, we'd be all on the ledge. I mean, that's it. I'm thinking back. There have been so many disappointments over the years and moments to be frustrated by. That Indiana team that came in here and beat us, Texas A&M. I think for me, back in 2002, I was actually doing a broadcast on the Armed Forces Network, 2002, when we lost to Notre Dame. And the kid that pitched for Notre Dame in the regional had ties to Florida State. The father, I think, had gone to Florida State. He wanted to go to Florida State, but we didn't know who he was. And I believe he was the 5A pitcher of the year. Anyhow, in the state of Florida. But we didn't know who he was. When we lost that series, that was a toughie because that 02 team was really good. This one, I actually felt more frustrated by, not because of the sub-regional loss. To be a national seed at home hosting as a 7 seed and not win a game is there's no way around it. It sucks. It's painful, and it's hard to wrap your mind around other than to spit, right? You're just sick to your stomach, especially because in the first game, unfortunately, a kid just unravels in the moment and really, really struggles on this night, and commits 3 errors and comes undone, and it costs you dearly, and you lose by a run. But then the way that you lose the next game is inexcusable. I'll join a laundry list of people who would second-guess the head coach's decision to have a kid take the hill after a 2.5-hour rain delay who'd already thrown over 100 pitches. I think I would quibble less with the pitch count per se. I know that in 12 previous starts, I believe Drew Parrish had gone well over 100 in most of those. So if we're not going to get into the argument about pitch count, we can certainly get into the discussion about a 2.5-hour rain delay and bringing a kid back who's had over 100 pitches. Arm stiffness and the mental fatigue and the wear and tear that goes in making a start like that is duly noted. The preparations that you have to go through to make a start of that magnitude, the adrenaline, all of those things that then have to be rekindled after a 2.5-hour delay. Well, that's why people don't do that. That's why you don't put kids back out there. That's why this is a strange decision. And when it doesn't work out, it's damning. When it doesn't work out, you have a lot to answer for. I don't think there's any getting around that. I think that clearly you can say, well, he's one pitch away. Or, if they get a ground ball there, are we having this discussion? I think to some extent we are having this discussion regardless. Obviously, it wouldn't be accompanied by the devastation that comes with a loss, a walk-off loss at that. But there was plenty to question right off the bat. And let me just say, again, let's just say you're on the other side. Let's just say that you make the argument that, they kept him loose. He wanted to go back out there. They monitored, miles per hour. They were saying he was ready, good to go. We're going to give him a chance to finish. Whatever argument you're going to make, I don't think it's a good one, but okay. Well, when he walks the first guy after having walked nobody all day, after having painted all day long, after not missing up like he does in that at-bat, as soon as that happens, you got to go get him because you're guarding against the worst-case scenario. You can't let that kid lose the game. You can't leave him out there to lose that game, not after the heroics that he had displayed through 8 innings. You can't. And it's the first sign of distress. Everybody knows that, right? First sign of anything. That's why you have 2 guys ready to go already. Benek was already up. Sclaro was up. They had guys up. They're ready to go just for that reason, right? So I think the first time, when that kid walks the leadoff hitter and he threw his first pitch 5 hours earlier, you got to think, can't do it. Can't do it. Got to go get somebody.
You did something that most people didn't have the stomach to do, and certainly not me. You went back and watched it pitch for pitch, blow for blow.
Yeah.
And what did you see?
Well, he misses up quite a few times to the first batter. And, that's usually a sign of being tired, you're flying open, whatever it might be, right? So that happens. He walks Jake Mangum, after he's been so good all day long. He loses control. He's lacking control there. And I think that's a warning sign, right? He ends up getting Rowdy Jordan to pop up, and then he gets the lefty-lefty matchup. And good luck to that kid. I mean, he's got no chance. That's the Tanner Allen kid. He Ks him. But he walks Hunter Stovall, and it's a battle, and now we're at 129 pitches and 2 guys on, and the winning run comes to the plate. It's a right-handed hitter who, by the way, had just homered against Oklahoma. I know he only had 4 home runs on the year, this last one being his 5th, but he had homered the day before. I've not seen anything like that. I don't, you can probably find, I'm guessing you can, especially if you're inclined to do so, examples where people have gone back to guys after a delay of that length. I don't remember seeing it. It's not customary for good reason. I would also argue that, again, if you make that decision, if you decide that's what we're going to do, then the first sign of distress, you got to go get somebody out of that pen. And I would think to me that it's alarming and unsettling to have a program where you don't feel comfortable enough to go to a bullpen after a 2.5-hour delay and a 2-run lead, that you got nobody that you trust at all.
Well, there's a couple of things here about the delay and going back to a kid. We've done it in a rain delay before. I think we did it even last year, but at 100-plus after 8 innings. It's different than if you get screwed in the third and you need innings and you got to eat them up because your long men are not ready to go. But if you got 3 outs to get, you're not going to be playing Saturday evening. So you have to get ready for the long haul on Sunday.
Yeah. And you could argue, well, you're trying to save arms, but listen, if you got to get to those games.
But I'd also argue that if he came back out for the 9th in the flow of the game the way it was, wouldn't you, first sign of trouble, be probably pulling the hook on him anyway?
Well, I was frustrated. Obviously, we all got frustrated because there's always, unfortunately, a doom and gloom feel around here. People forget the successes, remember the failures, and by and large live in that arena, right? That's where they stay. I had one tweet after they lost to Samford, another regional, another loss. I'm like, well, they did go to the College World Series last year. But people quickly forget that, right? And I get it. So I'm not as quick to fall into that realm. But when the weather came, I thought, of course it did. Of course it did, because here's the deal. And I think Mississippi State's players, if being honest, would tell you this. That game's over. They're not touching him. It's over. They have been thoroughly dominated. If that game is allowed to play out without a weather delay, Drew Parrish pitches a complete game shutout. They weren't sniffing him. But it didn't happen that way. And so you get unlucky in that regard. You do. And I know every Florida State fan in that moment went, of course. Of freaking course.
You could have said that on Friday, too, because you have problems at second base, which is in your control if you're talking about from a Florida State perspective. You have a kid slide into first base, which
you never do.
I mean, you're taught when you're 6 not to do that. But he slides into first. He's safe anyway, but there's no replay.
Well,
so that
also
sucks.
You made it a lot easier to get called out.
Well, yeah,
run through the bag.
You should be called out on principle, but he was, by a matter of fact, safe. And then you have the Mendoza blast go off the very top of the screen in right center. That's a 400-foot home run everywhere, but it happens to be the very left-hand portion, the centermost portion of the screen. When that happened, I thought, ooh, I know we're within one now, but I don't like that's foreboding in that moment. And that's to say nothing of what the hell happened on Saturday after the delay.
I hate it for the kid, man. I just seeing him walk off there, it felt like he was left out there to dry. I know they would argue with me on that, but you don't even go visit him at any point in that inning either. I mean, he's just out there left.
We will visit a kid, too, for nothing.
We were just out there left to dangle, man. And I hated it for him. He pitched so well, and to have that be the result is devastating. It just is. It's devastating. And I believe, obviously, that's a result, and results. Listen, we're grown-ups. You win some regionals, you lose some regionals. You win some big games, you lose some big games. The older you get, the easier it is to accept both and to put in some sort of perspective both. But for that kid to have it in that way and the look on his face as they showed him walking off there, that is hard to watch. And he's a competitor. I'm sure he wanted the ball. You got to override that in that situation and protect the kid against himself. Every kid that's a competitor, that's that good, is going to want the ball. But that's why if you've been around the block for a long time, you override that and say, no, not going to let emotion carry the day here. We've got guys ready to go. If you have to, play matchups. You knew who was coming up. It had been a 2.5-hour delay. I mean,
that's the top of the order, too, once you turn it over. And so if you get anywhere into the inning where you can, lose the game, they're not pinch hitting for anybody.
The quote from McNamee, by the way, the kid who hit it out, I knew I'd see off speed because his fastball couldn't be there after the delay. Now, on the 0-2 pitch, he does throw a fastball at 93. It's up. He's wasting it high. It never threatens the strike zone. It's not a competitive pitch. He's hoping to get the kid to chase.
Eye level?
Yeah, he's hoping it's above. I mean, maybe above that. He's trying to get that kid to chase out of nerves. But the kid doesn't. He doesn't respect the fastball in that situation, and he knows he's going to come back with off speed, and he does. And he even said that he scooted up in the box, anticipating it. And to his credit, he put a great swing on it because I think the thing is that in that situation, obviously anxiety you can become a little quick. You can get out in front, that kind of thing. But he stayed back and put a good swing on it.
Yeah, I was just saying, change the eye level. It's a setup.
It's a setup, but it's an age-old setup too. I mean,
rather than the control beat, it's above his head. Yeah.
He goes off speed, and then goes up and misses, and then comes back with a changeup. And oof. This is what it sounded like. And then we did a little digging because I thought I heard a little extra something in the audio. So Tom went digging into the audio. Here's what it sounded like on ESPN, and then we'll play the follow-up to what it sounded like. Must be the booth next to it.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
Now here's the audio again. Listen closely.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
Damn it! We lost. We fucking super lost, man.
Good daddy. What is he doing? That shit is smoking.
So, I like hearing that second version a little bit more than I like hearing the first, Tom. It just captures the feelings perfectly. It's the utter horror of seeing the ball leave the bat and the sound that it made. It's followed up by the frustrations of a collective fan base that feels tormented by postseason failures. And then there's just the what in the world was he thinking sort of reaction that maybe in due time when you take a step back we all have.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. stay alive in Tallahassee.
Damn it! We lost. We super lost, man.
Good daddy. What is he doing? That shit is smoking.
Oh, buddy. You're going to have to laugh to keep from crying. But the thing that has uplifted us has been the women kicking ass, finding a way to come back, crucial situations, winning every time, coming up big. Even your freshman, Lonnie Alameda, to join us in the 5 o'clock hour today to discuss those successes and tonight's first game against Washington in the Women's College World Series, again, of which we will have here for you on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Good times. Irish Chappelle is in Oklahoma City covering the action, I should say. He'll join us in the 4 o'clock hour. It's not all doom and gloom. Although it's a bit of a, those weighted vests you can wear when you're trying to get in shape?
I think the second baseman's glad. The story of the second baseman is not hurt by what happened on Saturday. And the story of Saturday is not hurt at all by the softball team being amazing, full of passion, energy, and positivity.
I think you legitimately have to wonder what Coach Martin does now. I mean, I thought about it. I didn't, that loss and that decision, which I believe to be a huge mistake in the moment, and it comes back to haunt him. That is what it is. Okay, so that conversation is that conversation. But can he walk out on that? Would he leave? That's the final game. Can you imagine that? That's a lot to weigh, right? I think that's awfully difficult. I would think not, but I don't know. Maybe. A lot of play there. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
When you come here to get service, we're going to take care of your car. Because you take care of your car is going to take care of you.
Come in for the Firestone Complete Auto Care Epic Sales Event and save $100 when you spend $500 or more. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Valid June 7th through the 10th. Exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with other offers. Additional fees may apply where lawful. See store for details.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus. And now Jeff and Eddie waste my time instead of recording a commercial.
And then you decided to sell it. And I always thought you should keep it.
I wanted to keep it.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Why wouldn't you keep that?
It wasn't the right color.
It was perfect. I tell everybody to this day, you should have seen the other one. It was incredible. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Are you looking for a trucking company you can work with till retirement? Do you want to feel like you're part of a family instead of just a truck number? If so, join the Early Trucking family that's been trucking for 25 years. ETC offers a benefit package that's second to none, including a 401k, paid vacations, sick leave, health insurance, Aflac group rates, and long-term care with only 2 health questions and a $1,000 signing bonus. They have regional dry van, hopper, and tanker lines available, home every weekend or more. Go to earlytruckingcompany.com to fill out an application. Help ETC keep agriculture in motion.
Hey, Dansbro Swanson, it's me, your favorite credit card. I've noticed about the only time you smile is when you hand me over to that nice ponytailed fella at Metro Deli. I like when you're happy. I think you do too. Let's get back there real soon. Oh yeah, Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com.
Don't start your day off with the same old boring breakfast. Stop by the Bagel Market and Bistro on Thomasville Road and the Persimmon Hills Shopping Plaza. They have fresh baked bagels and cream cheese every Monday for only $1.50. Green smoothies and great salads like the spinach apple salad. Muffins and cinnamon rolls are also options for breakfast. Sandwiches, salads, and more for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week. Check them out online at thebagelmarketandbistro.com or on Facebook and give them a call at 765-0598.
AmeriGas Propane would like to take this time to thank their valued customers for their business. At AmeriGas, serving their customers in a safe and responsible manner is their top priority. They're proud to be a part of the local community and participate in the many activities that support local charities and organizations that improve the neighborhoods where we all work, live, and play. For your propane needs, call on AmeriGas Propane. Call 877-1122.
Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You see where the SEC did the right thing? They did pass that rule. You graduate, you get your degree, you're free to go.
Yeah.
Wherever it is you'd like to go.
That's where a conference says, come on, guys, do we really have to make this rule? Fine, we're going to make this rule. And so they did.
Well, it made me laugh because, you know, that basically what Saban had said was, take it out of my hands. Don't make me do it. And they went, okay, yeah, we will. That's it. You guys don't get to make that decision anymore.
Sucks for that kid who couldn't get to go to Georgia last year.
Yeah, the lineman. Well, anyhow, that said, I'm just happy. We're under 90 days, man. It's June the 4th. I am elated that we are now, I don't know why, but it seems like June is an accelerator. As soon as you get here, maybe it's because my birthday's this month. Oh, worked it in. Kidding. I don't celebrate it much these days.
This is decidedly late for you to mention that, too.
No, I'm not going to mention it again because I really don't celebrate them these days.
Because you're closing in.
Well, no.
Big 5-0.
I'll be 47, Tom. That's not, I got a little time. You guys all like to rush me. Millar did the same thing when I was 35. Oh, damn near 40.
Right. Now, yes, you know. He rushed you a little quicker than I do, but 47, all right, there it is.
I'll be turning 47, not there yet. But
48th year.
That said, no, you stop caring after a while. Once you're just old, you're old. You know, what are you going to do? You just, I'm not trying to pretend I'm 25, so that's what you got.
Once I cleared 30, I could be 32, I could be 31, I don't know. I have to think about it.
30s are good, man. 30s are good. So far, I tell you, 30s are where it's at. 20s were wild for me. Got some things started, like a career. Accomplished some things. Graduated, all that stuff. But you're still reckless. I a little more so than you. You're more mature.
In spurts.
But 30s, you lock it in. Typically, you kind of figure it out a little bit. Not everybody, but you kind of figure some things out. There's a little balance there. You're able to, everything, whether it's sports, whether it's a devastating loss like the one that just happened against Mississippi State, whether it's love, the decision in your career, whether or not to have children, all these other things, all that stuff kind of gets worked out there in your 30s.
It does. I will say that this was a weird one to deal with, the way it went down, because it was, if you get through the one on Saturday, and this is where I would get mad, if you get through that one, you're going to win.
Probably
you're going to hit your way at the very least.
Yeah, you're probably going to move on. If you win that game, you're going to do a lot. Well, you're going to do what you did last year. You're going to go on and win that regional.
Just because of the way the bats were, and you don't need to have frontline pitching like you did for that game against a good team. That, boy, where was that pitching the day before for them? But then there's also the element of it where, we got in our own way so many different ways that how can I get so mad and worked up over something as asinine as the way it played out Friday night and Saturday? Like, am I really going to let it ruin my weekend, was my mature thought.
There have been years where the debate raged on and I disagreed with the majority of the fan base, or maybe there were times where we lost games and I was more critical than some of the fan base. There's been a mix of both over the years. But baseball lends itself to debate. It lends itself to second-guessing. I don't think there are managers, even the best of which, that haven't made decisions that were second-guessed rightly. The game lends itself to that. It's one of the beauties of it. Rarely do I think you find yourself in a situation where you see a situation that can be almost universally agreed upon and a decision that is made in that moment that is poor. And this was one of those. That's why this one felt different. I wasn't happy about the first loss against Samford because, boy, we'll give the fan base a reason to distrust this team, this program, by losing to a 4 seed, won't we? We will do it. But, I thought to myself, you had a kid implode. You had a kid in the infield just implode.
What can you do?
Right. That's one of those where perspective helps, where you go, well, geez.
But Saturday wasn't what can you do.
No.
There was something you can do.
Well, and should have done. And, whether it's the decision just to even bring him back out there that first angered you the most, there is an argument to be made against that for sure. It's for health reasons, etc. But then the decision to leave him in there after the walk. I understand it almost worked out, but it still wouldn't have been a good decision.
Well, and then for me, I really, finding Florida State softball when I did in the Super Regionals, really.
Dog life vest, huh?
It helped.
You're not kidding.
Because
I'm not kidding either. It did help. I found myself seriously enraptured by the softball team. I watched those games. I was locked in. I cared. I cheered. I yelled. I loved it. I'll be watching tonight. I think it's great. I completely agree with you.
You get by Georgia, and I'm latching on to the Oregon game because I saw the way we hit Garcia on Thursday, and I thought, well, I know she's the player of the year or whatever, but we seem to have a bit of her number a little bit.
There, yeah.
Yeah. And as it worked out yesterday, the first time through the order was, uh-oh. And then by the time you get to the third or the fourth inning, it looked like we were putting good swings. I thought, well, we got a chance here. But I have to say, as much as I latched on to them, when we're up 2 in the 7th and they've got 2 on and the winning run at the plate, all I could think of was no.
Not like this.
You can't double down. Not like this.
Do
for
not.
The love of God.
That would have really, oof.
That would have been the double whammy from Satan himself. But it wasn't. It was
I would have said,
out.
I am done with bat and ball sports.
Right.
I am done with bat and ball sports. Well, look, let's just say it. We can talk openly and honestly about a program and university we love, and we can be critical of it too because of that love, because of that passion. But, you want to talk about further alienating and frustrating a fan base that sees Ghost as is. How do you come back from this? Because this isn't one of those debatable moments, I don't think. I think the vast majority of baseball, I called around. I talked to former players and managers and people the people I have access to that I could ask because I didn't want to overreact. My initial reaction was, you don't do that before he ever threw a pitch. I was like, what's he doing back out there? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, it is college baseball where we frequently see things that raise eyebrows across the country, so he's not alone in that. It's why a lot of people say if you get drafted out of high school and you're a pitcher, go to the majors, go to minor league baseball, get started on your career. Don't waste pitches in college. There's a segment of baseball people who would tell you that.
Yeah, you'll be put in peril kind of a thought.
Yeah. The thought is that, they don't always have your best interest in mind, which, whatever, you get into those debates. But so when he first came out there, I thought that's not what you do. I sure hope he gets these 3 outs because there's hell to pay if he doesn't. I could not have guessed that it would be a 2-strike, 3-run bomb to beat you, but I certainly could have guessed that you might have put yourself in that situation. You might have put yourself in a less than ideal situation when you allow him to stay in after the leadoff walk.
Yeah, short of Holton announcing he's coming back and Cal saying, you know what, screw the money, I'm coming back. I don't know what you can do.
Well, there's nothing you can do now. I mean, the problem is, and we know this, and it's part of the frustration that we have as Florida State baseball fans to begin with, that a lot of the successes and goodwill and moments that where you shine and you've had success get ignored because of the championship that's lacking. And moments like this where you don't win a regional game at home as a national seed, where, look, that doesn't happen every year. It's not like they never move on. They usually do. They've been really good in sub-regionals. In his entire career, they've been really, really good. But it seems like all of the other goodwill in those moments, they go by the wayside. And in this case, I do believe people have a right to be very, very angry.
Yeah, what sucks is if this was the team it was a month ago, and they got bounced in the regional, you'd say
wasn't a great team.
Wasn't a great team once the ace went
this
down.
This group had a little bit of moxie to it, yeah.
That's where if I do get angry, that's one of the sources of it.
Mine begins and ends with feeling bad for Parrish. It ain't about me. It's not about Martin. It's not about the career. It's not about the lack of a championship. It's not any of that. I feel bad for Drew Parrish. That shouldn't have happened. That's a damn shame. That poor kid.
But, go back to Friday when Sands has to come out of the game. He's not dealing in the moment, but, just the weekend was a disaster from the word go. It was a team that showed that it could win in a few different ways, and it cared to win. That's where I get angry, the moxie you're talking about.
Just juxtapose the ACC tournament to this.
Right. Mm-hmm. But that was in them. So if they get through, if they get over the hurdle, then they're hosting a super. It's not Clemson. And here we go. Now get it on, and let's get back to the CWS because they'd been there, and they'd been in that situation. They'd seen it. You don't think the softball team has learned from, the experiences of last year and losing to LSU?
Yeah, but the cruelty of ball sports, we do know that, of baseball in particular, bat-ball sports. You do see that, I disagree with Mark Packer, who I heard talking on SiriusXM, and he was saying that, one thing I love about the baseball tournament is the last 8 that get out there to Omaha, they've proven without a shadow of a doubt that they're the best 8 teams. No. What the hell are you talking about? No.
That's bass-ackwards.
It's absolutely bass-ackwards. That's not true. Lots of times the best teams don't get out there because it's a truncated tournament, because your season could be over with 2 bad games and the other 50 whatever are largely irrelevant at that point.
Because it's baseball.
Because that's what happened. Yeah, no.
Tell me the 06 Cardinals were the best team in the bigs?
Right. So, no, it's not. That is inherent to the sport. But that decision on Saturday isn't. It's one that if you're just a casual baseball fan, you're scratching your head. It's haunting.
Yeah. Yep.
It's haunting. It stays with you a long time. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings. or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
And we're back with another edition of Spring Cleaning. Today, we want to know how you save energy, water, and money during the warmer season. Caller, you're on the air. What do you do to save energy?
With the warmer temperature, I know my AC is working overtime, so I make sure to replace my AC filter once a month.
Excellent suggestion. Next caller, you're on the air.
Well, the city of Tallahassee recommends that I take advantage of their grants and loans to get more insulation in my attic. That's really going to keep my cooling costs down.
These are some great suggestions. There are lots of ways to save. Caller, you're on the air.
I reduce energy for water heating by lowering my water heater temperature and installing low-flow shower heads.
We have time for one more caller. What do you have for us?
I make sure to use my programmable thermostat to regulate the temperature in my home when I'm away.
Thank you, caller. That's all the time we have today.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities would like to help you save as much energy as you can and save money while you're at it. Visit talgov.com for more information and start saving energy today.
The holidays are coming. Well, in a few months, and that's why now is the time to shower up with a beautiful custom bath or shower enclosure from Widden Glass. Don't wait for the holiday rush. Widden Glass will take care of you this summer to your complete satisfaction. They've been helping to design and install bath and shower enclosures for Tallahassee homeowners for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with real glass people, experienced, reliable professionals. Widden's top-of-the-line bath and shower enclosures provide style and luxury at an affordable price. With the holidays coming, that means family, and that means now is the time to shower up with style.
Call today. Widden Glass, the real glass people. 222-5781 or online at widdenglass.com. WHIDDON. Widden, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945. 222-5781.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Golden Knights shaking up their lineup for Game 4 tonight against the Capitals as they look to tie the Stanley Cup final at 2 games apiece. Forward Thomas Tatar, a trade deadline acquisition, will be reinserted into the lineup. Coach Gerard Gallant would not specify which player Tatar will replace. Vegas, down 2-1, has lost consecutive games for the first time this NHL postseason. NBA League sources told ESPN's Chris Haynes Warriors forward Andre Iguodala has been pain-free over the last couple of days and plans to return for the NBA Finals. He has missed the last several games with a bone bruise in his knee. Iguodala saying he aims to play in Game 3 Wednesday night. Cavaliers set to host that game, down 2-0. LeBron desperately needs some teammates to step up in the series, says ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
The individuals that you've been giving chances to are not getting the job done, and it's so flagrant and so bad. LeBron James looked depressed out there half the time, like there was absolutely positively nobody that he could rely upon. We all know that he's going to bring something, as 29, 13, and 9 indicated, but in the end, it's just not enough. He needs help.
Game 3 Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. So much for that Serena Williams-Maria Sharapova showdown at the French Open. Williams withdrew from the event because of a pectoral injury. She'll get an MRI tomorrow. With Williams' withdrawal, Sharapova is on to the next round. NFL Packers coach Mike McCarthy says he's okay with his players taking part in the team's annual charity softball game despite an injury to linebacker Clay Matthews. Matthews got hit in the nose by a line drive on Saturday. He'll likely have surgery this week. There are no long-term concerns with the injury. Auburn extended the contract of basketball coach Bruce Pearl through the 2022-2023 season.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
That's the approach. Have fun with it. Right after you're enraged. I can't dwell in that place for too long. But that's because, I'll be honest with you, if it were simply, again, a loss to a team that you're better than and that you ought not lose to, or whatever it might be, the kinds of things that frustrate you when quote-unquote upsets happen, then that'd be fine. But I felt bad for Parrish. It's just more than anything, I feel, damn it, man. Deserved better.
Right. Not your fault kind of deal. Even though you gave up the home run, it's not your fault.
Well, no, not at all. And you're left out. You just left out there, man. Didn't even go out there to talk to him. There's no,
And in the first 3 innings of a game, we will go out there at the first sign of anything.
I'd love to know, in
an honest moment, how close were you to pull, give them
Well,
the hook?
actually, if you go back and look at and I did this when I got home, if you go back and look at the footage, right after the walk, Martin goes up to the front step. Like, I think he's either going out there to talk to him or he's going out to pull him because we had 2 guys up and ready to go. So it's the problem is he gets the next guy to pop up basically on the infield. And so then I think he just decides to stand down.
Then you get a K.
Well, you get the lefty-lefty matchup, so now you're not going to go get Scalaro. So you've decided that, okay, well, we got that out. Now I'm going to keep the lefty-lefty. But then you get another walk. You can do this. I played it over and over in my head. I can't get past the original decision. Like, I disagree with the original decision just to even send it back out there. That's where I start with it. So just based on that alone, I'm already a little uneasy. But then, okay, the decision is made, and that's the conclusion they came to. But then he walks somebody, and then I go, okay, well, now you got to go get somebody. He hadn't walked anybody all day long. He's been painting. He's been dominant. He's missing up, and he just walked a guy. We're protecting a 2-run lead. You got 2 guys up and ready to go. Let's ride. We got to do something here. And worst case scenario, one of those kids comes in. You don't trust him. He leaves one up. It gets hit out of the ballpark. We're tied at 2. Get somebody else in there, try to get those outs, and if you can't, you're done. Deserve to win anyhow. But you don't leave that kid out there to lose. That's all I kept.
Yeah. Again, this is just a weird one because in the beginning I just went, you got to be kidding. And it didn't really set in for an hour or 2. And then I'm probably in the second inning of watching the FSU-Oregon game out in Oklahoma City, and I'm also simultaneously watching Caps and Golden Knights. And then I just have this rage. Damn it.
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Check our inbox, buddy.
Yeah.
There's some rage.
And it wasn't helped by an adult beverage. It just finally was allowed. Maybe I had defenses up, just like don't think about it right now.
Softball helped is what helped.
Yeah, but it helped me process the anger, at the same time. It was just
Yeah, I'm grateful that the story of the weekend isn't the home loss in the regional, but the wins out in the College World Series for the women. I mean, that really did capture the imagination, the emotions, and the joy of sport in a way that maybe as profoundly as the disappointment did on the other end here, right, with the men. That loss is it's a tough one to take for all the reasons we've just laid out there, but then there is this other thing you latch onto and go, all right, well, got that going.
I saw there was a comment, too, on...
I stayed away from the internet. I can tell you that. I didn't see anything. I know that.
Not for baseball, but for softball, saying, it looks like there's a bit of a devil-may-care attitude for both dugouts no matter what the score is, and I don't think that's the case. But I can understand if it presents on TV a certain way that, it doesn't look like the young ladies
they play
are taking...
loose. The ladies have a lot of fun.
Right.
It is weird. I think it's hard for men.
Yes.
Men are so serious. We're so serious in our
ding.
competition, and we view that competition very differently, filled with machismo, maybe self-importance, things that go above and beyond. Women must find it foolish or silly at times, how serious we take sport. But we do, and I love the game, and I know when I played sports, I took it seriously. I wanted to kick your ass, and you wanted to kick mine, and that's the way it should be. And afterwards, I'll buy you a beer, and we'll talk about it or whatever.
Or we won't.
Bitch. But women, I mean, they're more. Ooh. Hey, listen, let's say this. You know how we talked about when you became a good fan, when you became a fan or alumnus or supporter of your school or whatever it was the moment you stopped caring more about the results of your rivals as opposed to what you're doing, right? That the second you cared more to be invested in what we did right or wrong and what we're doing right or wrong and the results of our games as opposed to Florida's or Miami's games. When you're young, a lot of times you take almost equal pleasure in watching your rivals or teams that you hate or players that you don't like, their failures, their fallback, their transgressions. You root harder for that than you do your own school's players and coaches to succeed, and that's really a silly way to look at things, right? So somewhere along the way, now you can revel in that, you can enjoy that, you can embrace their failures, and I do when it comes to rivalries. I like seeing them suffer or go through tough stretches, but not more than I do seeing us succeed.
I agree. However, I have to raise my hand as a lost Acadian and say we were helpless, so that's all we had. All we had was to look at the failures of Schadenfreude.
But it used to drive me nuts
bad
that we would be in the middle of losing at home to some sorry-ass team, and they would flash the Florida score of the second quarter, and they'd be down 3, and the place would go crazy. Like, come on,
it's the loudest cheer of the game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's right either. I'm not saying that's right. All I'm saying is, if you're looking for some joy in the weekend, it ain't going to be watching us in the lost decade, especially when we're playing a ranked team or a rival at home from 2006 through 2009. We didn't beat an in-state rival at home in those years.
The point is...
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, the point is that when you watch them play softball, I've joked about it. It is constantly affirming, right? Teammates are just, that's all right, that's okay. You just struck out looking, don't worry about it. Ooh.
It's the positive side to that truth.
Yeah.
You're talking about the positive side to it.
Yeah.
It got on our nerves, and it has gotten on our nerves, and it still gets on my nerves.
It occasionally bothers me sometimes when a girl has a terrible at-bat and then comes in and they're all high-fiving. What are we doing here? You want to pat a back?
Right.
You want to put a pat on the backside like go get him next time?
Or we got you.
Yeah, well, all right, I can handle that. Yeah, you got to try to pick up your team. We don't need to be congratulating anybody on 3-strike, looking, have a seat, that babies, man.
Poor freshman, I think it was, a 9-hitter for UCLA yesterday.
Yeah.
Woo!
That wasn't competitive.
What would it be? You got effeminated?
Yeah, not emasculated, but effeminated?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But whatever it was, she got it, and everybody was still kind of like, all right.
Oh, that's all right. That's, no,
I don't know. I'd just probably be quiet in that moment. She knows what happened to her.
Let's all just stare off at the moon.
Yeah.
Let's just, this life, it's going to hand you some tough breaks. That's
sunflower seeds.
Shot of Jack. I mean, anything I can help you with there?
That would be appropriate at an NCAA event in that circumstance.
Yeah.
Here's a shot at Jack for you.
My goodness gracious.
Megan King is owning you.
In a way that's uncomfortable for us to talk about. So here. Yeah, no, you just, it's whatever. But, so we laugh at it sometimes. But I will say a little bit of that levity could go a long way. I feel like, man, is it uptight and just salty and watching the guys, I mean, just like a pall hangs over.
I think it allows somebody like a freshman, Elizabeth Mason, to hit a 3-run home run after you have one robbed earlier in the inning and you're down 2 strikes. And you could tell she's nervous in that situation.
And
but
she hammers that pitch.
Right. And yet the center fielder almost catches that one. Good God, I'm glad we don't have to mess with UCLA center fielder Bubba Nichols anymore.
Out there making plays up the
Out
right.
there making plays.
Lord.
But they look like they're capable of embracing and appreciating the moment that they're in a way that you don't see a lot of great competitors able to do. They know the magnitude of the moment, and they're having fun and embracing every second of it.
Yeah, everybody's different, and we show our emotions in defeat and victory very differently. There are things that people do that rub me the wrong way, and others that I find endearing, and a whole bunch of things in between. And I get all of that. There's no one way. There are ways in which we think cross the line on either side. I got you. But certainly the love of the game and the joy in playing the game is easily identifiable in watching the Women's College World Series. That's, it just, it is. And I think it is. It's a little endearing. You kind of, and I don't even mean that in a way that's chiding. I'm not,
right.
I'm not trying to
it's refreshing. How about that?
It is. It's refreshing.
Well, juxtapose a Nick Saban type to what you're watching out of this group. I mean, again, in the moment, they are embracing where they are, and this is fun. Like, even if there's adversity, this is all part of the fun of being able
tough.
to do
That's
this.
easier said than done, though. I don't rip. I mean, football's a brutal game. It's a very physical game. You think about the terminology of the game and everything that
I'm not ripping it. If somebody tells me stop and smell the roses and we're working on loss 5 of the season, don't get me wrong. I want somebody who cares deeply that we're losing. All I'm saying is the word refreshing comes to mind. You watch it and you appreciate it, and it helps, obviously, that in these dramatic moments we've won our fair share.
Well, 6-0 in elimination games is a way to find the joy in anybody's heart. I'm joyful again. There's been another comeback that benefits us.
Well, and this, just as it's great news for the baseball program that softball is kind of, taking the headlines away, it's also great for the softball program. Let's not kid ourselves if we're just looking at it from a cold, calculated perspective. That baseball is out of the way, and the stage is theirs. I mean, really theirs. We'd be talking about super regionals while working in some softball best of 3 right now if we had advanced. But this is their week. This could be really a long talking point going into the sports offseason for the program.
Well, and think about it, too. Lonnie Alameda is the ACC Coach of the Year last year, ACC Coach of the Year in 2017, and ACC in 2016 and 17. And now this program is reaching heights after losing a Jessica Burrows and an Alex Powers. So you're talking about an All-American first baseman, an All-American pitcher, and you exceed those expectations. You avenge those losses. You get back out there with a chance to do all this. It's building momentum is what it's doing. It's continued over the successes from the previous years to a place now where that could be capped off with a national title. Ira Schafel is there in Oklahoma City. He's going to join us to start the next hour. We'll talk more about this and get his thoughts on what that's like out there. I've never watched the Women's College World Series, not in person, and he's going to get a chance to do it. That's pretty cool. You see.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Look around. That's right, you see Nissans everywhere. Tallahassee is officially a Nissan town, a Kraft Nissan town. Why? Because Kraft Nissan has the best pricing, the best selection, and the best buying experience in town. And at Kraft Nissan, you get the best value for your dollar. With more standard features, our exclusive and the original lifetime warranty, our Easy Choice menu that gives you a price and payment in writing, our New For You program that helps people with damaged credit. And now, till the end of the month, 2 years or 20,000 miles of complimentary maintenance with every new car purchase, plus $1,000 over book value for your trade. Best of all, my people are the best in the business. They will greet you with a smile and a handshake, and they will know your time is valuable. My managers are always accessible, and of course, you can always ask for me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Kraft difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Bed liners, bed caps, toys to throw your money at. Car stereos, car alarms, things for all you soccer moms. Detail and diamond plate, parts to fix your tailgate. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Exterior accessories, lift kits for your mud needs. Mud tires, nice wheels, everyone will get a deal. Window tinting, that's a must. Come on out and visit us. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop, we always aim to please. Truck and Car Concepts, everything is here from A to Z.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Golden Knights shaking up their lineup for Game 4 tonight against the Capitals as they look to tie the Stanley Cup Final at 2 games apiece. Forward Thomas Tatar, a trade deadline acquisition, will be reinserted into the lineup. Coach Gerard Gallant would not specify which player Tatar will replace. Vegas, down 2-1, has lost consecutive games for the first time this NHL postseason. NBA League sources told ESPN's Chris Haynes Warriors forward Andre Iguodala has been pain-free over the last couple of days and plans to return for the NBA Finals. He has missed the last several games with a bone bruise in his knee. Iguodala saying he aims to play in Game 3 Wednesday night. Cavaliers set to host that game, down 2-0. LeBron desperately needs some teammates to step up in the series, says ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
The individuals that you've been giving chances to are not getting the job done, and it's so flagrant and so bad. LeBron James looked depressed out there half the time. Like there was absolutely positively nobody that he could rely upon. We all know that he's going to bring something, as 29-13-9 indicated, but in the end, it's just not enough. He needs help.
Game 3 Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. So much for that Serena Williams-Maria Sharapova showdown at the French Open. Williams withdrew from the event because of a pectoral injury. She'll get an MRI tomorrow. With Williams' withdrawal, Sharapova is on to the next round. NFL Packers coach Mike McCarthy says he's okay with his players taking part in the team's annual charity softball game despite an injury to linebacker Clay Matthews. Matthews got hit in the nose by a line drive on Saturday. He'll likely have surgery this week. There are no long-term concerns with the injury. Auburn extended the contract of basketball coach Bruce Pearl through the 2022-2023 season.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. If you do, we got you covered. All 3 hours going to be posted both online, ESPNTallahassee.com, and on iTunes, so you can go back and get caught up. For example, if you are getting ready to run into a meeting and miss my conversation with my buddy Ira Schfel from WarChant.com, then you can always go back and get caught up. If you're going to miss my 5 o'clock hour interview with Lonnie Alameda, well, I mean, damn, man, go back and find it afterwards. You can email the show if you like, jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at @JCameronShow. The WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. All right, a few things have happened. Let's catch up with our buddy Ira Schfel, WarChant.com, the website. Hello, Ira. How are you?
I'm great, Jeff. I'm enjoying Softball Palooza.
Man, how about this, right? It's a new day. I think there are a ton of guys. Now, you're a reporter. You're covering it. You're doing your job, but I know you're also enjoying this. But I've come on today to say that I'm surprised, but also I understand and embrace and love the fact that I know a lot of guys who, not all that long ago, and I'd be one of them, who would not really be following this story or watching this team as closely as we find ourselves watching this team and enjoying it moreover, and I'm one of them, man. I love it. This is a fun team to watch, a fun team to root for, and obviously exceptionally talented. That, to me, was the overriding story of the weekend in the wake of Florida State's failures at home in the regional and so questionable decision from Mike Martin. I have just taken solace in the ladies' victories.
I think everybody has. I think those two things happening at the same time probably accentuates why everybody's so excited about the women's softball team. Not that they don't deserve the credit, but I think those two things probably play into each other. But yeah, man, this team has captured, the fans who love FSU softball, and it's a passionate group. I mean, if you go out there, they're lined in the outfield, they're parked in the garage across the street, drinking and watching. I mean, those people are all in all the time. But, what this run has really done is just, part of it is the way they play, the success, but also the way they play and the home runs and the pitching. And,
that's what I was going to say, man. It's not rinky-dinky, slappy nonsense, man. We're swinging away.
It's all kind of contributed to this, and then the dramatic wins and all this. They've just really captured. They've captured the hearts, the imagination of the fan base.
Man, you love it so much you took 3 flights to get there. Holy hell! Tallahassee to Atlanta, Atlanta to Houston, Houston to OKC. You doing all right? You gonna be okay?
I made it, buddy. I made it. In my younger days, it would have been no problem. Now the old cantankerous Ira is like, are we kidding here? What are we doing? But we're here.
All right. Well, you're there. We'll follow back up. We'll come back around and talk about the game tonight against Washington, this team, and the flair for the dramatic and everything else. And you've been documenting it for WarChant.com. You'll do so again tonight. But let's go back to the regional that saw Florida State's men's baseball team lose at home both games, 0-2 and Q at the regional as the 7 national seed. The first game it's tough to stomach for a different reason. Obviously, you have a kid basically have a meltdown and really just cost him the game. And that's unfortunate because you don't want to attack a kid, but 3 errors will you raise an eyebrow. But then everybody knows certainly what happened on Saturday, and you wrote about it in your column on WarChant.com. Has there been any more discussion about what went into the decision and the reasoning behind why Coach Martin decided to bring Drew Parrish back after a 2.5-hour rain delay?
I mean, everything I've heard is basically what, Mike Martin said, that they, Drew Parrish is a kid who has always been a resilient, got one of those arms where he feels like he can pitch and pitch and pitch. In high school and in travel ball, he was a guy that pitched and pitched and pitched, and he's kind of got one of those, he's got that mentality for sure. And, at the end of the day, I think, just the more I reflected on it, for in a lot of ways, it's been one of, I think, Mike Martin's strengths is that he's so emotional, and I think he coaches emotionally sometimes, but I think it can also be a weakness. And I think they really wanted that kid to finish the game because they believed in him, I think, more than they did, the other options. I think they didn't believe in Van Eyck and Scolaro for probably because of what happened the day before. And, and then I think what happened is they really put themselves in a bad situation. My guess is they went into the inning thinking, okay, if he gets into trouble, we'll go to one of these other guys.
But they didn't.
But when they didn't pull the trigger after the first walk, now they were kind of doomed because I think they were all in because he gets the next couple outs. And at that point, you're thinking, okay, he can get out of this. Well, then when he walks the next guy, he walks the cleanup hitter. At that point, I think they felt like, well, we can't put one of those freshmen out here now. I mean, C.J. Van Eyck melted the day before against Sanford. So, I mean, he came in, walks one guy, hits another guy, and then balks in a run. You can't. I'm sure they felt like we can't put him in now in this situation. So our only option is to stick with Parrish. But I think the problem was, if you were going to make this move, I just don't think you could have left him in after the first walk because if anybody else gets on base, you're not going to want to put one of those freshmen in at that point. So I just think they just kind of went with emotions and they really wanted Parrish to finish it off. And I think it just bit them.
Yeah, well, when he walks Hunter Stovall, he's at 129 pitches, and the winning run comes to the plate. And you almost, and yet they are a strike away from getting out of it, but it is the decision to go to him to begin with is the one that I think everybody would be most questioning. And then once, Martin, if you go back and watch, he goes to the front step after the walk.
I know. You see him. When he's pitching to the leadoff guy, Mangum, he's sitting back at the back. I watched the whole inning again.
I did too.
And he's sitting back, just kind of chill, feels good about it.
Yeah, he exhales, and when he walks him, he comes straight to the front step and says something. I don't know who he's talking to, but then he stops. And the problem is, I really believe the problem is that so after he walks Mangum, and his misses are up, by the way.
They were both up, which is a clear sign.
Clear sign, right. But the problem is he gets Rowdy Jordan to pop out, and then he gets a lefty-lefty matchup. So once he gets the lefty-lefty matchup, that's favorable, and he gets a K. And so I'm sure, oh, Lord. I
just think
I hate it for Drew Parrish. I hate it for Drew Parrish. I can live with Florida State losing a baseball game. They've hurt me countless times. I can deal with that. I felt terrible for the kid. He deserved better. He should not have been out there.
No, I agree with you. And watching, right when it happened, I mean, he kind of goes down to his knees and, Cal Raleigh kind of collapses behind the plate. And then all the other players just stand there. They're just standing there in disbelief. And Drew Parrish just walks straight off into the dugout and into the clubhouse. I just can't. I'm sure he couldn't even grasp what had just happened. And again, I give him credit. Some people gave me grief because I said on Twitter, I give him credit for wanting to be out there. And some people were saying, "Oh, every pitcher would want to be out there." That's not true. We've seen guys through the years who didn't want to be in that moment, who didn't want to have that responsibility. Drew Parrish wanted it. He had no doubt in his mind he was going to get the job done, and he didn't. But
I think that's why I felt bad for him, because of course he did. He's a competitor and he's really good. I think that's where the years of experience as a manager should override a 21-year-old's emotions.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And again, I just think they wanted it. I think if what happened the day before hadn't happened, then I think maybe they don't feel so compelled to go with Parrish, or if they had a closer or reliever that they felt really good about. But I think the fact that they wanted Drew Parrish to finish it so bad is another sign that they really just didn't believe in any of those other guys.
Well, and I think what that does is certainly further the conversation. Why don't they have somebody they can trust? Why is a program like this in a situation where they don't feel like they have a single guy in that bullpen that can get 3 outs? You had 2.5 hours to figure. You could go matchup for matchup if you wanted.
Yeah.
You knew who was coming up. You don't have anybody you feel good about getting 3 outs with?
Yeah, and Mike, and again in the press conference, and I'm not going to try to say that what Mike Martin meant to say or what he, but he said that we were also trying to win the tournament, but I'm not buying that. You're in an elimination game. It's Johnny Holstaff. I mean, you have no choice but to pitch everybody you got to keep you winning games. You can't save arms at that point. And so I don't think that was the case. I think that he thought Drew Parrish was the only guy he really believed in. That's my personal opinion. And that's what they did.
All right, so the story that is this women's team now in the College World Series with a chance to bring home a national championship. It's the furthest the program has ever been. Lonnie Alameda has been the ACC Coach of the Year in back-to-back seasons, has been building to this point. You go back before the season started, and for people who were big fans of this program and paid close attention to it. They had said goodbye to Alex Powers, who was an All-American first baseman. They had an All-American pitcher in Jessica Burrows. Alameda herself said that this is a surprise, that they, maybe didn't expect to get back to this place too, or as far as they've been. But as the season went on, they've had really moments by which you started to believe they were every bit as good as last year's team and could maybe do this. I guess talk about the job Lonnie Alameda's done and what this team is and where this program is at, because obviously now they're one of the elite programs in the sport.
Yeah, and the trick with them, the challenge to evaluating them is, and it's this way this year, and it's really kind of always this way, is the fact that because they play in the ACC, it's always difficult to know how for real they really are, because they just don't, some of these other conferences, the Pac-12 and the SEC and some of these other conferences have so much tradition and teams that go out to the World Series every year and have won championships. The ACC doesn't have that. So FSU kind of beats up on the ACC every year. Well, I think they've won 6 straight titles in the conference, and they just don't get much competition. So it's hard to judge sometimes. They may have a pitcher who's got the best numbers in the country, but you don't know what she would do against that kind of competition. What's cool about this run, and I think it's really going to validate them, you don't go and knock off Oregon and knock off Georgia and then, do what they did to UCLA, taking 2 straight from them, beating the National Player of the Year, their pitcher. And, I think it no matter what happens in the championship series, obviously you get this close, you may never get another chance. They got to do everything they can to win it. And obviously everybody around FSU hopes they do. But I think in the big picture, this really validates their program to an even higher level. I mean, everybody knows that they've been a really emerging program for several years, but I think what they've done this last week takes it just to a whole nother level, which should even bring in more recruits than what they've done so far, which is they've already done a great job of bringing in great talent.
And they also are lovable, man. They have fun playing. They seem to really have a blast. I've never seen a group looser. Now, I know that when you watch softball as a guy, there's a lot of positivity out there after every at-bat, and it's something to behold. But it is fun, man. I do think a little infusion of that is healthy, and it's fun to watch. They care about each other. That's obvious. And they also have a firm belief that they're not out of anything, ever.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's how you have the little freshman hitting the 3-run bomb.
Yeah, Elizabeth Mason.
Yeah. I mean, that's just unbelievable. But that's, and then, then they show her, an inning or 2 into the second game, she's like doing Vogue or something behind Lonnie Alameda as she's being interviewed. I mean, they're just so loose. And, that kind of, chemistry sometimes can be looked down upon if a team, even in softball. I mean, if you're not playing well, but when you're playing well, and they have that kind of looseness, and players don't feel the pressure, it often leads to performances that you wouldn't expect. Now, the big question is, can they maintain that, in a championship series? Because now it's a whole different ballgame. There's only 2 teams left. All 3 games are going to be on prime time on ESPN. It's a big deal. Now, can they not let that affect them as they go into these 3 games?
Where are you now? Are you at the hotel or are you over at the stadium? What's the scene like? Can you give me a picture yet, or are you going to find out now?
I'm going to find out now. I'm at the hotel. But, when you get off the airport, I mean, first thing I saw a sign for the WCWS. Really, people here know about it. And it's, I don't know that it's as big as probably, Omaha, the College World Series. I mean, I think the stadium's obviously smaller and the turnout's going to be a little bit smaller. But, looking forward to getting over there a couple hours before the game and really soak it up. And it should be fun, man. I've never covered anything like. I've been doing this for a long time. This is the first time I've covered this event, so I'm looking forward to it.
Make sure you find the local haunts after that first game and get drunk with all the softball people.
I'll try to do that. Good plan.
Good work, brother. I'll talk to you later, and have fun tonight, man.
Sounds good. Take care, Jeff.
All right, take care. That's Irish fella. I've never gotten together with the softball people, Tom.
He did not want to answer that.
He's like, "Whoa,
you've painted me in quite the corner here, Jeff."
Well, he's not much of a drinker.
Exactly.
He'll have a beer with
so
me
if I do answer it, I seem like something I'm not, and if I don't answer it,
I was having fun with him. I'm saying it. When you're at an event like that, you want to go out and see what's going on, what the vibe is.
They are spirited.
Oh, I think it would be a blast. I think they'd have a lot of fun. I'm not talking about getting crazy. He's got a game to cover, another one tomorrow. At
night.
But he's got time. Go have fun with it.
It's an hour later, first pitch tomorrow.
Find out what's the deal. Because when you go to Omaha, in truth, here's why I said it. When you go to Omaha, it is a celebration of all things college baseball. And when you get out to Omaha, it's like, look, you have the fans of the 8 teams that are there, and they all want to win, and they're all passionate about their schools. But it's really interesting. It's very different than football. When you're there, the other fan bases welcome you in. They've got food. They're tailgating. You're drinking. You're hanging out. And you're really kind of, in a weird way, celebrating each other's achievements. And then this sport that's kind of a niche sport, it's like you're seeing a like-minded person that, you're into something that not every sports fan's really into. And you're like, hey, buddy, you get it. I get it. We get it. Oh, let's celebrate a little bit. And so it's kind of a party. And it's in that way, it's a lot of fun. And so that's where the spirit of that question came from, was sort of just this, I wonder if it's that way for softball, because that is definitely a niche group.
Yes.
And
that's a close-knit community, though, across, all the other teams. The coaches know each other. The players come from, the same basic areas, and the talent pool comes from that's why the Pac-12 and the SEC have been so good.
Rule the day, yeah.
Pac-12 especially, obviously. But I hear you. I'm sure it would be probably a rowdy bunch, but I don't know. Maybe the championship series changes that. Tonight, obviously, the first pitch is 7 o'clock, but then games 2 and 3 if necessary, 8 o'clock. So it's an earlier start tonight than is Tuesday and Wednesday's start.
Lonnie Alameda joins us next hour here on the Jeff Cameron Show. I do want to note this. He talked about it further validates this team and this program's successes, and he's right to mention that because she has, and this program has, dominated the conference. And so, you're talking about 7. You go back. Okay, so this was a program that was a proud program for a very long time. I go back to when I was in school, and then later on, first on the air, Joanne Graff, all of that. They were a national power from the late 80s through the mid-2000s, early 2000s. And then what Lonnie Alameda's done is bring that back to where they become a regular in the postseason, and they've been they returned to the final side of women's college softball twice in the last 4 seasons, by the way. They've included a WCWS semifinals appearance in 2016. They've had consecutive trips to the NCAA, 5 consecutive trips to the NCAA Super Regionals from 2013 through 2017, now this year as well. 5 straight ACC regular season titles, 4 straight ACC tournament titles. Or I guess that's all moved up one now. As they've continued, they own 15 ACC championships overall. I mean, they've really dominated the conference. So it's exciting then to get to where, you go titles in 11, 14, 15, 16, 17 in this conference in the tournament. And so the only thing left to do is to bring home a Women's College World Series title.
Well, and they're carrying the banner for Old Swaffy, too, while they're at it, because they're the first ACC team to make it to the best-of-3 series in the Women's College World Series. You'll be hearing those talking points a lot. Washington's won a couple. The Pac-12 has not finished the job since 2011, I think is what they said in the broadcast this weekend.
Going to be since 2011, even after this year, too.
Meanwhile, the ACC is looking for its first. So we're carrying – Florida State does that a lot. I don't know that we always get the love.
Flag, yeah.
Well, especially for the dollars. We've done that an awful lot over the years. It looks like the softball program is doing something akin to what the football program did when we joined the ACC. But that's neither here nor there because we're going to win it for us, and I hope we do.
Washington's pitching staff has not given up a home run in the postseason. All we do is hit the home run, baby. Left and right. There you go. What a matchup this is. I'm going to get some wings. Go home and watch this sucker. Have a cold beer and cheer. That's what I'm going to do. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Want to trick your truck for free? Mountain Dew and Dollar General announce Trick Your Truck. Your shot at winning up to $10,000 to trick your truck. Get your free Do Life sticker at any Tallahassee area Dollar General and put it on your ride. Spotters are looking for Do Life stickers now.
Well, if it isn't Freddie Freedom, American tailgating hero. Hey, cool. Here's a pro tip for me, your favorite outdoor chair. Whether you're packing me up for a game in town or a roadie up to the ATL, Metro Deli will do you right. When you got hunger in your belly, oh yeah, it's time for Metro Deli.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
Summer temps in Tallahassee can mean extra stress on your AC unit. Let Barano Heating and Air Conditioning help with their Total Comfort Service program. Visit BaranoAC.com for info. You'll also find money-saving rebates, energy-saving tips, online scheduling, and more. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Call 580-4029. License for CAC 057652.
The holidays are coming. Well, in a few months, and that's why now is the time to shower up with a beautiful custom bath or shower enclosure from Widden Glass. Don't wait for the holiday rush. Widden Glass will take care of you this summer to your complete satisfaction. They've been helping to design and install bath and shower enclosures for Tallahassee homeowners for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with real glass people, experienced, reliable professionals. Widden's top-of-the-line bath and shower enclosures provide style and luxury at an affordable price. With the holidays coming, that means family, and that means now is the time to shower up with style.
Call today. Widden Glass, the real glass people. 222-5781 or online at widdenglass.com. WHIDDON. Widden, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945. 222-5781.
At Advance Auto Parts, we offer you the quality parts you want and knowledge you need to help get you back on the road. And we're always looking for ways to help you save. Right now, get CarQuest conventional motor oil for just $2.96 a quart. Talk about an amazing price. Plus, find great prices on CarQuest's full line of motor oil. Go to Advance or participating CarQuest Auto Parts stores to take advantage of this great offer while it lasts. Advance Auto Parts, where oil is priced like it should be.
Shop Lowe's and save big on updates you can make throughout your home. Refresh your walls with new color with stain-resistant paint that makes cleanup a snap, starting at $26.98. Craving new appliances? Get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 6/6. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
If I should laugh. Went back and looked at timestamps. Some emails making their way in, and I was trying to find the one that was closest to the ball traveling over the fence and off the scoreboard on a pitch that sounded like this.
Ball speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
Damn it! We lost. We fucking super lost, man.
Good daddy. What is he doing? That shit is smoking.
Oh, that's fun. It's the only way to deal with it, to keep from tearing up. Did you see where Northwestern is going to welcome Wisconsin to Wrigley Field in 2020? So the games and announcements of future football venues and those non-traditional football locales, anyhow, continue to trickle in. This one's not one of those, hey, everybody, they're going to be playing in 2026. No, 2020. At Wrigley Field, Northwestern taking on Wisconsin. Got me to thinking, they're playing in Lambeau. We've got games there. Obviously, they've played in Yankee Stadium, and we've seen all of that. You get these other neutral site, quote-unquote, games. The biggest one this year for me, the one I'm most excited about, is Washington-Auburn. But is there a site you'd like to see a game?
Yeah, I'd like to see Boston College, Florida State, and Fenway. I think that would be very cool. They've played in Fenway before, too.
Let's make it happen.
I think that specific one, just because we've been there, and I think sitting on top of the monster would be perfect. You got, film seats. There you go.
I like it. I could do that. I would go, well, anytime you're in one of those historic cities at an historic baseball venue, I'm going to be inclined to say yes to something like that. There aren't too many of those. I mean, who else could you match up against? You're trying to think about the ACC footprint and where it would make sense. So if you could find a way to play in D.C. at, where Washington plays or whatever, I mean, I've wanted the ACC championship game to get moved there. I want weather. Most people don't.
So you'd play at Nationals Park, or are you talking about
I'm playing with
RFK or whatever it is at FedEx?
Yeah, I'd want to play there for the ACC championship game. I'm talking about the end of the year.
I think we should move that back down south. They can have whatever else they want, but that should probably be a little bit closer to home.
Well, it's just like we've talked about. We are about done watching the ACC tournament in baseball being played in Durham. Can we move on here? Is it allowed to go anywhere else?
No, it's not.
It's been down in St. Pete before, or Tampa, I think it was. Yeah.
They did it once.
Yeah.
I know the Big East has done Bright House Field in Clearwater. I mean, they have so many venues down there that I'm sure would be okay with loaning for a weekend.
And by the way, that is a great park still. The Durham Park is great. It's a fun place to see a game. And there have been other places. I remember we went to the ACC Championship in Salem, Virginia. That was interesting with that baseball team, their minor league club, which, that's the famed, I call it famed because it involved my life, the famed Matt Millar and I trying to find a Dunkin' Donuts there, only to finally finding one this is back in the day of the phone book, Tom. Finding one, and me so elated to say to Matt, come on, found a Dunkin' Donuts, let's go. And as we came up over the hill, it was burned to the ground. The devastation's still on.
Somebody in Pookie got after it.
Somebody just decided that's enough of
Come on, Pookie!
Yeah, man. That was absolutely heartbreaking. Coming over that hill going, oh, I see it's burned to the ground. Well, you don't see that every day. Why is it still in the phone book? Damn it.
I don't know that there's another answer. Baseball park-wise, Wrigley, I guess. I mean, you play Notre Dame or Michigan and Wrigley, something along those lines. I'd love to play in Lambeau, little Florida State-Wisconsin action in Lambeau. That would be pretty freaking cool.
I would enjoy that thoroughly. I would be all in favor of that. Yes, I'm with you. Don't disagree there. By the way, should I dare give college baseball updates?
Ooh, I don't know. I've seen a lot of that where we've had some local media contracted out to cover the series because, people in Norman and Starkville didn't want to send anybody down here.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a worse fate to have to.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
With all the weather delays, too. I think they were playing into the.
So like Mississippi State 8-1 over Oklahoma, and then Tennessee Tech 14-5 over Ole Miss.
Mississippi State 8-1 over Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. That's in our park. Yep. That's over at Hauser. You can go catch that.
Well, it's
or is it over now?
It's a final. South Carolina's up on UNCW 6-3 in the ninth inning there. Duke beat Georgia 8-5. I might note. There's a rain delay between Florida and FAU. So, and a 0-0 score there. So, you kind of – do you give up? Do you stop watching?
Yes, especially now that Florida's won. The only thing that held us together after that was hoping
rooting
against hope.
Florida?
Yeah, that they didn't beat us to the punch, but they did, so it's over. Screw it.
It's interesting. I don't think I'll watch another college baseball game this year.
Ever again.
Somebody yelled that at their radio. I don't think I'm going to watch another college baseball game this year. I say that, but I also know that that's simply not true. I will. I love the game. I do, and I'll tune in to watch it. I still, the overriding love of the game and the kids that play it, I'll watch it. But it's not easy. And I'll watch it with a level of indifference that I wish didn't exist because I will just I'll be watching baseball for baseball.
I think this is you watching it. You flip over to 403 on our Xfinity X1 box, and you go, oh, yeah. Let's see what's on MLB Network tonight. And that's the extent to which that game's going to be on.
Well, luckily tonight at 6:45, I'll be sitting in front of a large plate of wings, and I will be sitting back ready to watch a little women's softball, and I'll be excited about that.
You're really married to this idea of getting wings tonight. That's the second time you mentioned it.
Woke up thinking about wings.
Really?
It's one of those damn days where you just, for some reason, you got a hankering, Tom, and for no reason. I hadn't thought about it at all. I wasn't in the mood for, something. I mean, I'm not even talking about being gluttonous, ridiculous, or anything like that. Just something popped into my head. I wanted some damn wings.
Is it one of our sponsors' wings, or is it just wings in general that you wanted?
Well, of course, it's one of our sponsors' wings.
Well, of course, yes, yeah. Is there a certain kind of sauce that you're feeling?
Bumpus makes a hot sauce of I can't remember the name of those wings. You remember the name? I'm sorry, Bumpus. I love you, but they make some wings.
It's like Euros something, right?
Yeah, it's Euro something. Anyhow, they're hot.
Gotta change that for the Ryder Cup.
They're just hot enough. They're just right, and I really like them. And it's kind of on my way home, and I can get those suckers after I get off the air and settle in. And I've got some flavorful adult beverages waiting on me, and I'm really and truly ready to roll.
So when they say, would you like carrots or celery, you'll say Brussels sprouts from Bumpus.
You're damn right I will.
Yeah.
That's a side that you are obviously in love with, too.
It's fantastic.
Impromptu Bumpus ads. Since we're doing that, I should say that you can get the 2-pack special right now at MyPillow.com.
Oh, there it is.
How about that? That's what you do. What I do with my MyPillow ad, there it is.
Well, I think we know it by heart.
I do know it by heart. I'm not going to lie, Tom. I ran into a guy this weekend. It was before we played Samford. I went to a restaurant, and I told you that I wasn't getting out to the ballpark for the first game, for the Samford game. I was going to watch it and watch it on the TV. And I ran into somebody at this restaurant, and they walked up and said, Cameron, I listened to the show I have for years. I got to know. Are you going to get the do you really sleep on the MyPillow, or are you just doing it for the money? This is like the third guy. It's insulting because here's the deal. I drive a Nissan from Kraft Nissan. I do go to Bumpus and Gordo's. I love those places. We both love the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Mm-hmm. I could go through all of the sponsors. Obviously, I use Wash Around the Clock, more watching and less washing. I do all of those things, or I would not endorse them, but I don't endorse a lot. I don't. And for the reason that I don't want to say that I'm using something that I'm not, right? So when he said that, I kind of was like, come on, man. I'm not going to get on the air and tell everybody about a pillow if I'm not even using it. Yes. He said, well, good, because I have one already, and I have for 6 months. And if you hadn't gotten one, I was going to tell you, you really should.
So he set a trap for you.
He set a trap for me, and he already had one. And he's been an avid listener, and he just thought he'd try to catch me. And I said, no, I got one. I love them. And he goes, yeah, me too. I've had mine for 6 months. If you hadn't gotten one, I was going to tell you to really get one. I was like, come on, man. But in a way, I realized in that moment, that's as good an advertisement as there is.
So somebody on the YouTube chat, before you get to the MyPillow ad straight up, was asking, what is the line tonight? What's the betting line for the College World Series, the WCWS? And I have the information because I know that you would be proud that I looked it up.
Well, I am.
So Washington on the money line is a favorite tonight, minus 175.
I'm taking Florida State.
The over-under is
5.5. What, runs total?
Yes. If you take the over, it gets you an even return. It's minus 140 on the under.
Taking Knowles in the over, baby. Here we go, Big Daddy J.
And the run line is Washington minus 1.5.
Oh, this is a sweep.
At a plus 135.
I am rolling. I'm getting a 1.5. I'm taking the over, and I'm taking the Knowles to win.
Yes, the run line for Florida State plus 1.5 is minus 175. So there you go. That's the betting information for the Women's College World Series Game 1.
I like where your head is at. I like where we've gone as a society when it comes to the openness towards gambling.
Gambling on the Women's College World Series.
It's a beautiful thing. MyPillow.com. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows by which you rest your head tonight and watch Florida State softball. Taking Game 1 over Washington. Woo, the celebration. Free shipping to boot. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. Or you can call 800-944-6596. Be sure to use the promo code 979ESPN. 800-944-6596. Just when you call, get the promo code in there, 979ESPN. If I didn't mention it before, 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty. They're washable. They're also dryable, made right here in the good old USA. I like it. I'm not segueing to nothing, Tom. You play the music.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Golf carts at TNT Supercenter are $27.99, including the charger and windshield. Only at TNT Supercenter, and only while they last. Just $27.99. Zero down and low interest financing available with approved credit. And delivery is free from Valdosta to Tallahassee. US 19 South, next to the Dairy Queen in Thomasville. View inventory and pricing at TNTSupercenter.com. TNT Supercenter, Thomasville, Georgia.
Time to check out our buddy Joe over at Truck and Car Concepts. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, what's going on with you guys?
Well, here's the deal. I heard that you were gone all day as you were out tinting a house.
Yes, sir. His customer was having a big heat problem on the west side of the house in the afternoon. We went over, did the estimate, decided to do the east side of the house as well. Let me tell you something. We knocked out 79% of the heat energy, which is going to totally knock down the electricity bill. Not only that, but she had some really nice paintings that were fading out in the living room. 99% ultraviolet ray elimination.
So it would fade out like carpets and drapes and furniture and stuff?
Not only that, but it also fades out those expensive hardwood floors. So window filming the house is nothing but a plus. Like I said, it comes and it takes down the heat energy, and that's, bottom line.
So even though the place is called Truck and Car Concepts, you could throw a house in there too.
We can do houses, planes, trains, or automobiles, man. If it's got glass, we tint it. Truck and Car Concepts, 656-8800. Give us a call.
And we're back with another edition of Spring Cleaning. Today, we want to know how you save energy, water, and money during the warmer season. Caller, you're on the air. What do you do to save energy?
With the warmer temperature, I know my AC is working overtime, so I make sure to replace my AC filter once a month.
Excellent suggestion. Next caller, you're on the air.
Well, the city of Tallahassee recommends that I take advantage of their grants and loans to get more installation in my attic. That's really going to keep my cooling costs down.
These are some great suggestions. There are lots of ways to save. Caller, you're on the air.
I reduce energy for water heating by lowering my water heater temperature and installing low-flow shower heads.
We have time for one more caller. What do you have for us?
I make sure to use my programmable thermostat to regulate the temperature in my home when I'm away.
Thank you, caller. That's all the time we have today.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities would like to help you save as much energy as you can and save money while you're at it. Visit talgov.com for more information and start saving energy today.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Golden Knights shaking up their lineup for Game 4 tonight against the Capitals as they look to tie the Stanley Cup Final at 2 games apiece. Forward Thomas Tatar, a trade deadline acquisition, will be reinserted into the lineup. Coach Gerard Gallant would not specify which player Tatar will replace. Vegas, down 2-1, has lost consecutive games for the first time this NHL postseason. NBA League sources told ESPN's Chris Haynes Warriors forward Andre Iguodala has been pain-free over the last couple of days and plans to return for the NBA Finals. He has missed the last several games with a bone bruise in his knee. Iguodala saying he aims to play in Game 3 Wednesday night. Cavaliers set to host that game, down 2-0. LeBron desperately needs some teammates to step up in the series, says ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
The individuals that you've been giving chances to are not getting the job done, and it's so flagrant and so bad. LeBron James looked depressed out there half the time. Like there was absolutely positively nobody that he could rely upon. We all know that he's going to bring something, as 29-13-9 indicated, but in the end, it's just not enough. He needs help.
Game 3 Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. So much for that Serena Williams-Maria Sharapova showdown at the French Open. Williams withdrew from the event because of a pectoral injury. She'll get an MRI tomorrow. With Williams' withdrawal, Sharapova is on to the next round. NFL Packers coach Mike McCarthy says he's okay with his players taking part in the team's annual charity softball game despite an injury to linebacker Clay Matthews. Matthews got hit in the nose by a line drive on Saturday. He'll likely have surgery this week. There are no long-term concerns with the injury. Auburn extended the contract of basketball coach Bruce Pearl through the 2022-2023 season.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
An entire show without at least mentioning something gambling related. So I'll just mention that I have a list of the worst college football coaches, the 5 worst college football coaches against the spread. I've got that. We'll get into it later. I do. I have it right here.
There's a lot of times when you bring up the gambling angle, and I go, man, oh man, okay.
But this isn't one of them.
Yes.
You're like, yes, I want to know which ones.
Because I want to know are my suspicions right about certain coaches.
Yeah, so there you go. And we live in a world now where this is open and welcomed. And so much so that article was actually written by a guy at CBS Sports. I mean, this is where we are now.
Yeah, the first two names to pop into my head were Jim Harbaugh and Jimbo Fisher. But we'll see. How long does it date back to?
That's the whole thing. I'm looking here to the last 5 years. So, see, that's what hurts you.
If we could just get rid of that 2013 number, I think Jimbo would be right
he might
there.
be on the list. I tell you what, the problem is he covered every game in 2013.
Correct.
So there was no way.
Right, but since then, I mean, we
we don't cover it all.
No.
But he stockpiled so many in the good that he couldn't be on the list.
Yeah, like 14 of them.
I'm not shocked that the guy that's number one is number one because he just lost his job. Just like the guy that's tied for second also lost his job. So that kind of makes sense, right? So yeah, you do that. Let's do something else here though. Fire it up. Little vision check action.
Open your eyes.
My glasses! I can't see without my glasses!
My glasses! I can't be seen without my glasses!
That is absolutely horrendous!
I don't believe this call is accurate.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Man, I can see!
It's time for the vision check.
And it's brought to you by the law office of Jose Fernandez. They don't get paid until you do. The law office of Jose Fernandez, offices Miami, Tallahassee. So here's what I would tell you we got to take a closer look at. People who continue to call the Serena Williams v. Sharapova matchup a rivalry. Stop doing that. It stinks that Serena had to pull out of the French Open. She's called off her Grand Slam comeback because of a chest injury. She announced today that she has a pectoral injury and she can no longer participate. In fact, her quote was, "It's extremely disappointing," the press conference at Roland Garros. But I made a promise to myself and to my coach and to my team that if I'm not at least 60% or even 50%, then I probably cannot play. She's obviously won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, and, you can never question her toughness and her grittiness. She has played through an awful lot, but she can't hit serves currently. So what that does, and she's competing in her first major tournament for the first time in 16 months after having a baby. She's 36 years old. You can't risk those injuries. You're trying to make a full-time comeback to the tour. It's just a shame. And she noted that it's painful and all those other things. Now, what it does is it allows Maria Sharapova to move on in the tournament to the quarterfinals. And I get why it was an anticipated matchup. They're two very high-profile players. But I kept hearing that the rivalry would be renewed or that the rivalry got a chance. There was life breathed into the rivalry now that Sharapova's back, now that Serena's back. Serena Williams has won 19 of the 21 head-to-head encounters, and she had won 18 in a row. You cannot have a rivalry if one person is beating the other person 18 times in a row and has, on the whole, won 19 of 21. It's not a rivalry. It's an ass-kicking. It's next is what it is. It's the person who's about to get beat by Serena on the tour next, which is almost all of them whenever we're in a Grand Slam event.
If I heard that correctly, too, the last time that Sharapova beat Serena, heard this earlier today, 15 years ago?
They were 21?
15 years ago. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's not a rivalry. It's like that time I told you when I went out to Lincoln, Nebraska, and had a great time going to the Nebraska-Colorado game, and those Colorado fans walked in, and we were drinking red beer in Lincoln because those games kicked off at noon, and if you wanted to tailgate, you had to get up early, and it was V8 and beer, Tom, and we were drinking that.
V8 and beer.
You want to talk about being able to avoid a hangover, drink some V8 and beer. It's actually nice. I thought it would be awful. They drink red beer there.
That sounds disgusting.
It does. It's actually good. Strangely good.
Huh.
Yeah, we'll do one together. We'll have one here maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
So
how about right now?
No, it's actually pretty tasty. I thought, oh, no. We went into a bar there in Lincoln. We were getting ready for the game. My buddy who graduated from Nebraska said, oh, you got to try this. So, I was like, oh, I don't know, Kobe. This doesn't sound very good. He said, it's delicious. You'll love it. And it'll keep you from getting a hangover. All right. And I drank it. It was good. was good. I was surprised. But, the Colorado guys came in and they were talking about the rivalry. My buddy goes, well, it's not really a rivalry now, is it? We enjoy the game. It's a fun game. And you could just see how angry the Colorado guy was because obviously he was being talked down to. And, at that time, I think Nebraska had won 11 of 13. So, what are we
Right, yeah.
What are we doing here, right?
Yeah, it could be our fortune in about 5 years with both Florida and Miami.
Miami, where you're like, it's not really a rivalry. You got to win one every now and then.
It once was.
Many moons ago in my youth, this was a competitive series. But it has been some time now since that is the case. Now it's just two teams in the same state or in close proximity of one another. That's what we call it. Hey, it's the annual battle of the two teams pretty close to one another. Located in the same state.
Should we schedule UCF instead?
That would be nice. Anyhow, that's my vision check. I wanted to double check here and make sure those numbers were right. They are. The rivalry. Oh, we get denied the rivalry. Don't get a chance to see them rekindle the rivalry. You mean the one that Serena's won 18 times in a row? No. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay tuned. Jeff Cameron Show 97.9, ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Ice. Why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Shop Lowe's and save big on updates you can make throughout your home. Refresh your walls with new color with stain-resistant paint that makes cleanup a snap, starting at $26.98. Craving new appliances? Get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 6/6. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute, brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Yesterday was the final game of an 8-game homestand for the Braves, also the final game of the series with the Nationals. Braves had taken 2 of the first 3, but 1 in 3 of 4, and they had Anibal Sanchez on the mound versus Jeremy Hellickson. Braves had the early lead 1-0, but found themselves trailing 2-1 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Dansby Swanson stepped up, hit a home run that tied the game at 2 apiece, and it was 2-2 into the bottom of the 9th inning. With 1 down in the bottom of the 9th and Swanson standing at second, the Braves called upon pinch hitter Charlie Culberson.
0-1 pitch. High fly, deep to left field. Way back. And gone. Culberson has done it again. Walk-off home run, a 2-run shot to left.
So Culberson does it again. That was his second walk-off home run of this homestand. He's hit 8 home runs in his career, and 4 have been walk-off home runs. Does it again for the Braves, and the Braves take it 4-2 against the Nationals to take 3 of 4. Braves back into the action tonight on the West Coast, 10:10 Eastern time of the first pitch, 9:10 Central, as Julio Teheran and the Braves take on Clayton Richard and the San Diego Padres. I'm Ben Ingram, and this has been your Atlanta Braves Radio Network update.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Golden Knights shaking up their lineup for Game 4 tonight against the Capitals as they look to tie the Stanley Cup Final at 2 games apiece. Forward Thomas Tatar, a trade deadline acquisition, will be reinserted into the lineup. Coach Gerard Gallant would not specify which player Tatar will replace. Vegas, down 2-1, has lost consecutive games for the first time this NHL postseason. NBA League sources told ESPN's Chris Haynes Warriors forward Andre Iguodala has been pain-free over the last couple of days and plans to return for the NBA Finals. He has missed the last several games with a bone bruise in his knee. Iguodala saying he aims to play in Game 3 Wednesday night. Cavaliers set to host that game, down 2-0. LeBron desperately needs some teammates to step up in the series, says ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
The individuals that you've been giving chances to are not getting the job done, and it's so flagrant and so bad. LeBron James looked depressed out there half the time, like there was absolutely positively nobody that he could rely upon. We all know that he's going to bring something, as 29, 13, and 9 indicated, but in the end, it's just not enough. He needs help.
Game 3 Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. So much for that Serena Williams-Maria Sharapova showdown at the French Open. Williams withdrew from the event because of a pectoral injury. She'll get an MRI tomorrow. With Williams' withdrawal, Sharapova is on to the next round. NFL Packers coach Mike McCarthy says he's okay with his players taking part in the team's annual charity softball game despite an injury to linebacker Clay Matthews. Matthews got hit in the nose by a line drive on Saturday. He'll likely have surgery this week. There are no long-term concerns with the injury. Auburn extended the contract of basketball coach Bruce Pearl through the 2022-2023 season.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Oh, this will be a fun hour. All right. I'll tell you about that momentarily. Check us out online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. If you miss anything, go back and get caught up. It happens, man. Frequently these days we consume our entertainment, sports or music, whatever it might be, via the podcast or online in a way that's more convenient. So we like you to tune in every day right on time at 3 o'clock. Stay for all 3 hours. Listen to every single break. We understand you can't always do that. Therefore, we note that, again, it'll be posted on iTunes where you can leave a lovely review. Or it'll be on our website, ESPNTallahassee.com, and you can find it there and stream it. Obviously, many of you hopping into your car say, well, what's Cameron talking about with that Martin decision? I mean, Jesus, did the guy blow that one? Right, and I'll give you my thoughts on that again like I did in the 3 o'clock hour momentarily. First, though, let me say this. It's exciting for us. We get an opportunity to talk about the real story of the day and the story of the weekend, and something that I think, frankly, is really, really cool for us. And it has kind of captured the town, hasn't it? And for good reason. Lonnie Alameda going to join us this hour. She is the head coach of Florida State softball, which, of course, begins tonight in the championship round. First ever appearance there for Florida State softball in the World Championship, the WCWS. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's called Women's College Series, World Series. Yeah,
best of three, championship, best of three. Whatever it is.
Yeah, first time ever there. This is a program that's been on the rise. Obviously, it is a program that now has found a level of consistency that is to be proud of and to celebrate. It is one now that has a chance to perhaps bring home a national title. We're all holding our breath, as we have so many times as these games have played out, right? They have been games that bring you to your knees at times, just hoping against hope. We need this hit. Oh, freshman just hit a home run. Well, isn't that something with 2 outs in the sixth? Oh, we're going to set records for home runs, in fact, in this game. Well, we're going to come back on short amount of rest, get back on that field, get another win, and move on. We're going to do all those things. Lonnie Alameda going to join us to talk about it. What a weekend it was, and it continues tonight. You'll hear that broadcast tonight. 6:45 begins our pregame coverage. 7 o'clock first pitch. You can listen to the game. If you've got to work and you can't get in front of a TV to watch that sucker, listen to it right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, as we'll have the game. Hopefully just the 2 wins by Florida State.
We don't need a Wednesday broadcast.
No, we don't need a third game. Just the 2 right here. That'll be good. I'm looking forward to it, very much so.
You know, the fun thing about softball and the way it presents on television is how quick the game goes. You know, most of these games, we're watching kind of exceptions to the rule here with, dropping 12 runs in the WCWS. That's
Bang!
Nuts. With
Get
all
you some.
The home runs we're hitting, too. The games are more standard to look like they did against Oregon, a 4-1 final, 3-2, things like that. And there's usually not a whole lot of action, but the difference between softball and baseball is the game's 7 innings, and it moves. The pitchers,
it moves.
They throw strikes.
I thought we were going to run rule that ass last night. Oh, so close. And then that girl hit that home run. That was a bomb.
Yes.
It was still going.
Well, we had announcements to make, and I was at the ready to make sure the announcements were made, and it was prolonged by an extra 45 minutes.
That was a well-hit ball.
Yes, it was. A lot of bombs, man. Just
a lot of bombs.
A lot of bombs.
Product is a lot better, man. I'm just going to say it. I didn't like watching softball back in the day. I didn't think it had enough action. I didn't think there was enough of stuff going on outside of the infield. Seemed like a whole lot of running out of the box and bunts and things. No, man, we swing for the fences, line drives, great defensive prowess now. You watch the way the game's played, the execution, the athleticism, the talent and skill. It's there. It's a better product than it used to be, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, does it have something to do with the fact that we're good? Absolutely. But at the same time, I think it's a better product.
You also see some heady plays. There's a 1-6-3 double play last night on the grounder back to the pitcher. Then there's also a play where we do call a squeeze.
Oh my gosh, she's falling over into the other batter's box, keeps her feet in her batter's box.
Right.
And by the way, the play by the pitcher is beautiful. The scoop throw to home.
Right.
It's just a little high, and our girl gets down low.
But then she gets to second base because nobody's covering. Just a heady play.
Almost took third.
Right. She's looking at it.
She's looking at it like, I'll take third too.
You guys could come to second because I'm going to third.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Right, and for a game that, featured pretty much 20 runs, the game took, 2.5, 2:45?
Oh, it's quick and fun, man. It'll be good. I'll watch tonight. Hopefully we'll get this thing done. I'm rooting for it. These girls deserve it. They've been really a much-needed shot in the arm because now here's the part that we don't like. O2 and Q at your home regional as a national seed will hurt your feelings, and in the way that it happened, it is mind-boggling. On the first day, you have a kid throw up all over himself. Unfortunately, I'm not going to kill that kid here. He obviously knows he didn't play well. That's an understatement, and that's unfortunate. But nonetheless, it's mistakes. It's pressure getting the best of somebody, and you lose to a 4 seed in Sanford, and you put yourself for the second consecutive year behind the 8 ball. Now, last year they were able to do enough to get beyond it, and they won in dramatic fashion, as is the case in a regional where you're the better team and you're the home team and you have a lot of advantages. That is to say, talent, depth of pitching, home field advantage, all of that. If you can survive the second game after you've fallen into the loser's bracket, you put yourself in a position to go on and go ahead and get that regional win, if at the very least just by slugging your way there. And so this game yesterday that they lost was the one that that you had to win. Or, excuse me,
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday. I said yesterday, yeah. Okay, so let's just get to it. So many ways to assess the mistake made by Mike Martin, and so many frustrating elements to the mistake made. The biggest issue I have is that I felt sick to my stomach for Drew Parrish. To be put in that position, to be left out to dry. They don't even go out to talk to him after the leadoff walk in the 9th. He hasn't walked anybody all day. It's a 2.5-hour delay. He's thrown over 100 pitches, 109, as he starts back. Hasn't walked anybody all day. Barely even had he gotten to a 3-ball count on anybody? And he walks the first guy, and you've got people up. Van Eyck is up. I understand you might not trust, your young pitchers, but listen, you got a bullpen for a reason. Scalaro's up. You got guys up. First sign of trouble. Even if you agree with the decision to go back to Parrish, which I don't. I think it's a mistake. It's seldom ever seen. I think it's horrible that you're in a situation where you don't have a single reliever that you can trust to get 3 outs in a big-time baseball program. You don't have anybody in that pen that you feel comfortable with. I think it's pretty damning before you even factor in the pitch count, the 2.5-hour delay, the leadoff walk, and insistence that he stay out there come hell or high water. 130-plus pitches. I think it's reckless. Left the kid out there to lose the game, man. And I know he's close. But you end up with 2 walks, and boom, season over. Is it strange to see somebody come back from a 2.5-hour delay? Yes, you don't ordinarily see that. I know in the pros, if you give it up after having done something like that, you've got a whole bunch to answer for. I think Coach Martin does here. I think he knew that after the game. That's why he looked like a man that was in shock. I think he probably feels sick to his stomach. Coach Martin cares about these kids. Coach Martin cares about how that ended, and I know he's devastated. It has to be. Who wouldn't be? But, if it's 20 minutes, All right, maybe you're rolling back out there. 30 minutes. Maybe you're rolling back out there. 2.5 hours. You're talking about arm stiffness. You're talking about mental preparation, mental fatigue that goes into each start, each game. He threw his first pitch 5 hours ago.
He did his job.
You know, when he walks Jake Mangum and his misses are up, he's been painting all day long. Now he walks the leadoff hitter after that delay. You got guys already up. He gets, maybe the worst thing that could have happened was he gets Rowdy Jordan, he gets him to pop up, gets the lefty-lefty matchup, Tanner Allen, gets him, strikes him out. That kid looks terrible. It's lefty-lefty. It's a good matchup, and he takes care of him. But when he walks Hunter Stovall after he's been battling, and we're at 129 pitches, again, I feel like you got to guard against the worst-case scenario. I think after the leadoff walk, I go get somebody. If I have to play matchup for each remaining batter, I'm doing it. You had 2.5 hours. Yeah. You know exactly who was coming up. By the way, if I do that, here's what I'm doing. Worst case, you take a freshman, you throw him out there, and you don't feel good about it, and he gives up a bomb. It's 2-2. Go get somebody else. We're getting ready to go play extra innings if we have to. But Parrish doesn't get the loss, and you've guarded against the worst-case scenario. Just left that kid out there, man.
Yeah, the hard part here, too, is, and sometimes I apply a Major League Baseball mentality to college baseball. So I try to understand that that's where I go default.
Yeah, it's very different. You would never see that in pro baseball. You would never see it in pro baseball. Ever. That's correct.
No. And so, when he's back out there, whew, boy, college sure is different. But the point remains. The point remains here. If you had a closer, you're going to the closer. You don't have to play a second game at 6 o'clock on Saturday. You have a full day.
Well, so it's not about get to that game, Tom. That's the whole thing. It's not about saving arms. You got to get to that game.
Number one, that's true. But number two, it's not like you're going to overwork somebody on a Saturday to spite Sunday. You have to get to Sunday, but you're in command. So you can make a calculated adjustment, and if something doesn't work, then you have a plan B. But the thing is, there was no plan B. It was him or bust.
It was ride or die.
Right, which is at a program like ours, as you said earlier, that's a little bit concerning. And the fact that first sign of trouble, even in a moment where, let's say this is a major league game, and the starter wants back out for the ninth. I got some experience with this in the 15 World Series, Grady Little, Pedro Martinez. I mean, when is too long? That kind of thing. That's a tough thing for a manager, independent of a rain delay that goes for 2.5 hours.
I was going to say, those are different circumstances. You're talking about pitch count and signs of a pitcher getting tired when Grady Little goes out to talk to Pedro.
Right, but what I'm saying, it's to bring it back home. In that moment, there's more reason to let a pitcher back out for the ninth inning. In this, there's little to no reason before we even start the conversation. When he walks somebody, now there is zero reason.
No,
it was small to begin with. It was maybe a 2% discussion that you could have, like in terms of justifying that move. But then the moment that you have control issues, which is not the problem that he had during, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
he looks different.
Well, he hasn't walked anybody all day long, and now he walks the first guy he faces after a 2.5 hour delay. Go get him.
Well, and then
I wouldn't have had him out there to begin with. That's me. I'll defer to the head coach there. I think it's a mistake. I think it's quite obvious a mistake, and not because of the results. I thought it was a mistake beforehand. I think everybody in that stadium thought it was a mistake. I think everybody watching went, what in the world is going on here? Okay, all right, so now you decide, all right, they say organizationally that's the decision they wanted to make. They believed he wanted the ball. Of course he wants the ball. It's up to you as a coach to not get not persuaded by a competitive 21-year-old. Instead, use your knowledge of 40 years of coaching and say, no, we're going to hand it over to our bullpen here. That's why we got one.
Well, and the hard part, too, is because it does get a little uncomfortable when you double down in the postgame. And it's like, man, in the moment, whether or not you believe that you made the wrong call, you might just want to eat that there and just be done with it. Because all it does is serve to frustrate people even more that he had the same stuff he had. Do we really need to double down and triple down and say the stuff was the same?
That's obstinate. It's frustration after making a poor decision and having it backfire, and it's defensiveness. Elijah McNamee comes to the plate, having homered yesterday versus Oklahoma, gets him to 0-2, but then he wastes the high fastball trying to get him to chase. He doesn't. Kid knows this off-speed pitch is coming. Moves up in the box, gets it, boom, game over. You left the kid out there. You paid for it dearly. This is a result and a decision that I have to believe will stay with Coach Martin for a very, very long time. I don't think there's any way around that. I believe the McNamee quote was, I knew I would see a curveball or a changeup because his fastball couldn't be there, not after the delay. We knew that. when he showed fastball up, I knew he'd come back off speed, so I scooted up in the box. Yes. Yes, he did. This was the call of that home run. I think what you'll like is when you hear this, it's at first unsettling and frustrating, but then you'll get to hear. Well, actually, let's save it. We'll play that call later in the show. You want to play? What do you want?
Yeah,
to play
we got
now?
Lonnie lined up next.
Okay, so Lonnie Alameda. This is a better, more rewarding story. Let's get to Lonnie Alameda, head coach FSU softball. When we come back, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Online scheduling and more. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Call 580-4029. License for CAC 057652.
Listen up, Tallahassee natives. Do you miss the spirit at Doak Campbell Stadium? How about the great times at the Silver Slipper? I know we all miss the Tallahassee Tiger Sharks. Relive these great memories and more with a brand new t-shirt from Local Vintage. I'm Chet, the founder, and I want to personally invite you to visit my website, localvintage.com. That's Local Vintage, spelled VYNTAGE.com. Not only will you love my super soft made in the USA tees, but listen to this. We've got a brand new t-shirt that you need to check out, the Sing Store. Find all these tees and more at localvintage.com, spelled VYNTAGE.com.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shops work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Bed liners, bed caps, toys to throw your money at. Car stereos, car alarms, things for all you soccer moms. Detail and diamond plate, parts to fix your tailgate. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Exterior accessories, lift kits for your mud needs. Mud tires, nice wheels, everyone will get a deal. Window tinting, that's a must. Come on out and visit us. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop, we always aim to please. Truck and Car Concepts, everything is here from A to Z.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Oh, what a privilege this is. It's the story of the day. It's the story of the year, the story for this city that has us all buzzing. It's this softball team that is playing in the WCWS Championship Series. You'll be able to hear that, by the way, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio tonight. We are carrying it. Our coverage begins Westwood 1, 6:45, 7 o'clock, first pitch. It is a great honor and a pleasure to bring in the head coach of this softball team. It's Lonnie Alameda. She joins me now. Coach, congratulations. Work to be done. I know you're probably absolutely focused. You're also really busy, so we appreciate the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me. And yes, so excited.
Yeah. So, okay, you even said that this was a surprise to you to some extent. And for those that haven't followed, this team lost Alex Powers, an All-American first baseman, and lost Jessica Burrows on the mound. So, you knew you had a great team, a good team. You had veteran leadership. You had some people you could count on. But what did you think when did you know maybe that this team could be special?
There's so many moments throughout the season, but I think as a coaching staff, when we played Louisiana, a midweek game, we really started to see the team come together and do a lot of the key components that we need to be successful. So we had great pitching, some timely hitting, just played together as a unit and as a team, and that was really the turning point. So it almost took us close to 2 months to figure that part out.
I have to tell you, we've watched these games over the last couple weeks here, and then obviously this last 5-7 days, it's just been breathtaking. There are moments where I think you made Florida State fans cry with happiness because the games have been so suspense laden. I don't know how you can do it. I mean, whether it's avenging the losses to LSU and how special that was, or the home run against Oregon, and you get to a place with you have a freshman do that with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 6th. It's just been a wild ride. Have you taken the time to maybe appreciate it, or are you two just immersed in the next day?
I think it's both. We just got done with ESPN interviews and shoots just to promo the games for tonight, and so you get to talk to all the talent and everybody that's associated with producing the game. So you do relive a lot of the situations and what was the turning points and those things. So, that part's exciting to celebrate that. But yeah, I mean, it's a wild ride right now. Kids are still having fun with it. You can see the moment's not too big for them. And that's the coolest thing is they're grounded. We're a silly group, but we love to play. So there's kind of like the backyard softball mentality going on right now. It's just a bunch of kids playing some softball and having some fun.
Let's go back to that Mason home run I alluded to a moment ago. What did you think when it came off the bat? That's a 2-strike pitch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, I feel like she got 2 canned down the middle before that. We're like, just swing the bat. We know how talented and how strong she is, And then all of a sudden she does, and there it goes, But, one of our mindsets this year has been, almost like a boxing match, and just throw punches and take punches. And, when Danny hit that ball that the girl closed her eyes and caught it in center field, that was like a sucker punch, But we still need to keep fighting. Get back up off the mat, keep fighting. And, for Mason to be the one right after that, do that, it was so energizing in the dugout, and just one of those stories that keeps us going, keeps us battling.
Yeah, by now, with all of the battles you guys have been through and the times that you've come through, I think you're 6-0 now when facing elimination. I can't imagine that you're freshmen or freshmen anymore. And, you had a veteran leader like a Jesse Warren, but now all those young kids that are coming through for you on a regular basis, they've all grown up.
They have all grown up. I mean, when you hit postseason, all your freshmen are sophomores. I mean, they are moving on. They got 50 games under their belt. Your squad ready to battle as a unit. And they're right. There is no freshman. I mean, we are one team, trying to make history. We made a little history, trying to make big-time history right now. And but it's just a one-pitch mindset.
What's your approach when you go on a run like this? You've coached in the Olympics, and I guess we could look at the sum of your experiences. How have you used that to inform how it is you deal with this team and deal in a situation like this?
I think every year is different. But, we talked about, especially regionals and super regionals, we brought up the Michigan game, and Courtney Cenas and the walk-off home run. And we FaceTimed with Bree Hamilton. And just the feelings when we lost that 17. I mean, that was history, right? We lost 17 to 2-3. I mean, it was ridiculous, the game, and everyone's like, oh, well, worst loss ever, most home runs or most runs given up, and all those things, But our team got together and said, hey, we're playing 2 games. We're winning this. We're going to the World Series, and you better be here for a long day tomorrow. So we brought Bree in, and she FaceTimed with the girls. She told that story. It's just battle. And, when you have former players that have lived that, and now they can speak that to the current players, it gives them the mindset of what Florida State softball mentality is all about. And, we are a different team. We're made up of different people, but we still have that continued fight.
We're talking to FSU head coach Lonnie Alameda. I'm wondering, Coach, I was reading a quote. I actually saw a quote and went back and got the transcript. You talked about core values, and one of those is smart. And it encompassed a lot of things, and it was trying to be smarter and being a smarter player on the field. And, when you get to a stage like this, you have to learn. So I think you were talking about UCLA pitcher Rachel Garcia, going to beat us on something one time, but she's not going to beat us again. Talk about those core values and how those have kind of obviously played out here where your players have learned from setbacks, losses, moments, and gone ahead and cashed in the next go around.
Yeah. The core values came from just 2014 is when we started really coming together with how we wanted to live and breathe every day as a program. It started with the coaching staff, and then we met with the team. And, so what are we? What are the words that embrace this program, and what can we live by standards-wise? And there's a above-the-line standard and below-the-line standards. And, every team's going to be different in how they come out, their swag, their personalities. Every team's going to be different, but we're going to have a standard that we're going to live by, and a daily, the core values daily. So SMART is one of them. And we pride ourselves in pregame series. The first game, we're going to have a game plan. There's going to be a plan A, maybe a plan B. But, we're going to figure out in the first game, how good we are with our scouting plans and all the things that we do so well as a team. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to go to game 2, and we're going to make the adjustments we need to make. And we learned to do that all season long. If you look at our schedule this year, we've played a lot of people twice. And, we haven't been beat twice. And that's a thing that we can go with our core values. I mean, we've been the smarter team in game 2, and we've made adjustments. And then now you've got some trust and belief in individuals and the program. And when your back's against the wall, we can come out on top because we're going to make those adjustments and stay in it pitch by pitch.
How important was it to get Megan King some rest? She has to be about as well rested as you could hope for, I guess, heading into tonight, only having to close out the last 3 outs there.
Yeah, well, she pitched. Thankfully, her pitch count was pretty low in game 1. So she was about 96 pitches, I think, game 1, and then another 10, 15 to close it out. But we're going to some cryotherapy, cryo recovery. We're going to try to get them a little ice box today, and it's unfortunate that we had 4 games this weekend, and now we got to go after it. But that's where we thrive. Bring on adversity. We can handle it. Kind of the funny thing yesterday too is they moved up our game time, and we had no food in between games.
Wow.
Here it is, adversity. Let's go get some peanut butter and throw it down, and we're eating in the first inning. But sometimes when you live like that, and we're okay with it. No one was bent out of shape. This is who we are. Let's go have some fun. And Megan, she could be dead dog tired. She's going to go out and give us all she has.
Yeah, having to play 2 yesterday, this was probably the best case for Megan, right? And she's in the circle tonight, did you say?
She is, yes.
Yeah. Well, you guys look like you're having so much fun. That's the other part about this. And I'm watching this, and I'm more nervous maybe than you guys seem to be. I don't know how that's possible, but everybody, my wife and I jumping up and down in the living room, I think we were just like everybody else pulling for the garnet and gold and watching this play out. And yet there you guys are having so much fun. So best of luck tonight. We'll all be listening and watching. And thank you for your time. We really appreciate it, Lonnie. Good luck. I'll talk to you when this is all said and done. Hopefully we're talking about a championship victory.
I love that. It looks good. Thank you so much for everything.
Absolutely. Take care. That's Lonnie Alameda, head coach, Florida State softball. That game, the first of the series against Washington, can be heard right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio tonight. 6:45, again, is the pregame show. Westwood 1, 7 o'clock, first pitch. We'll come back and talk about that momentarily. That was cool. She's great, and that's a personality, isn't it? You just excited to talk to her.
I feel like I'd play loose if she was the coach. He's just, this is the plan.
Here's what we're going to do.
Some things aren't going to work, but guess what? We have a plan for when it doesn't work. Worst case scenario, we've got an answer for you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good for them. That's just the story of this postseason, and they got the stage to themselves. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
Shot, save, rebound, score!
The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save, rebound,
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
My name is Brandon. I am a manager of tire sales at Firestone Complete Auto Care. When you come here to get service, we're going to take care of your car. Because you take care of your car is going to take care of you.
Come in for the Firestone Complete Auto Care Epic Sales Event and save $100 when you spend $500 or more. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Valid June 7th through the 10th. Exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with other offers. Additional fees may apply where lawful. See store for details.
Shot, save, rebound, score!
The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save, rebound,
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Golden Knights shaking up their lineup for Game 4 tonight against the Capitals as they look to tie the Stanley Cup Final at 2 games apiece. Forward Thomas Tatar, a trade deadline acquisition, will be reinserted into the lineup. Coach Gerard Gallant would not specify which player Tatar will replace. Vegas, down 2-1, has lost consecutive games for the first time this NHL postseason. NBA League sources told ESPN's Chris Haynes Warriors forward Andre Iguodala has been pain-free over the last couple of days and plans to return for the NBA Finals. He has missed the last several games with a bone bruise in his knee. Iguodala saying he aims to play in Game 3 Wednesday night. Cavaliers set to host that game, down 2-0. LeBron desperately needs some teammates to step up in the series, says ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
The individuals that you've been giving chances to are not getting the job done, and it's so flagrant and so bad. LeBron James looked depressed out there half the time. Like there was absolutely positively nobody that he could rely upon. We all know that he's going to bring something, as 29-13-9 indicated, but in the end, it's just not enough. He needs help.
Game 3 Wednesday, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. So much for that Serena Williams-Maria Sharapova showdown at the French Open. Williams withdrew from the event because of a pectoral injury. She'll get an MRI tomorrow. With Williams' withdrawal, Sharapova is on to the next round. NFL Packers coach Mike McCarthy says he's okay with his players taking part in the team's annual charity softball game despite an injury to linebacker Clay Matthews. Matthews got hit in the nose by a line drive on Saturday. He'll likely have surgery this week. There are no long-term concerns with the injury. Auburn extended the contract of basketball coach Bruce Pearl through the 2022-2023 season.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Our thanks to Lonnie Alameda. Good luck. Knowles, 6:45. 7 o'clock first pitch. So thanks to Lonnie Alameda and the success story of the softball team, we are able to be distracted from the pain of a home run hit by Mississippi State to end the season. This is what that home run sounded like the first time. But Tom and I went back in and putting this together, wanting to have the footage. We played it in the 3 o'clock hour a lot. We went back and listened to it again because I thought I had heard some extra what for at the booth next to the home run call. And here's the original home run call as heard on ESPN.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
That's a toughie. But to hear these three, this made it a little bit easier to digest. We could have a little fun with it. Here's that same home run call, enhanced audio. Tom getting inside the audio there, breaking it down for us. Let's go.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
Damn it! We lost. We fucking super lost, man.
God damn it! What is he doing? That shit is smoking.
So there you can hear that. Well, you know that initial "ooh" is perfectly placed, Tom.
Off speed. Off speed, high in the air.
Oh, that's rich. I'll never get tired of hearing that, although I'm tired of hearing that. Ouch. How well hit is that? Listen to that again. The second one.
Off speed.
I mean, just spit on. Just get you some of that.
That was
ooh.
Right. I think that's honestly how we all felt.
Ooh.
If we had an inner voice.
Well, when it left his bat, I went, oh, no.
Yeah, so I was relaying the information as to what was happening to my girlfriend because the game had started quick, and so I was talking to her, and I said, "Ooh,
ball's hit well."
I said, "Well, I'll be honest. I got into the game when there were 2 on. I was like, oh, we're back, because we went through the other half quick, and I was like, well, they left Parrish in, and there's 2 on, but we got 2 out, 2 strikes here, so a home run ends it for us. But
yeah, and then ooh,
oh my God, he did it. She goes, what did he do? Struck him out? I said, no.
That kid just hit a home run.
No, that kid just hit we're done. The season's over. I had mapped out that Sunday, I'd moved from Saturday to Sunday was going to be my day at Hauser.
No, you get no days.
I got no days at Hauser.
You get no days, buddy.
I got no days.
You get 0 days, and you like it.
Right.
That decision after a 2.5-hour rain delay to put a kid in who's thrown over 100 pitches and not go to a bullpen whatsoever after he walks the first guy and not pull him, you go, that's what you go. That's what you get right there. You get this audio.
Off speed, high in the air, deep to left field. A walk-off for the Bulldogs. They stay alive in Tallahassee.
Damn it! We lost. We fucking super lost, man.
God damn it! What is he doing? That shit is smoking.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Shop Lowe's and save big on updates you can make throughout your home. Refresh your walls with new color with stain-resistant paint that makes cleanup a snap, starting at $26.98. Craving new appliances? Get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 6/6. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
And the game can't get here soon enough. Our coverage of the championship series between Florida State and Washington in the Women's College World Series begins at 6:45, 7 o'clock first pitch. You'll want to stick right here to listen to Westwood One's coverage on 97.9 ESPN Radio. If you're out and about, you can hear Florida State take on Washington tonight beginning at 6:45. And for that reason, I would tell you that probables almost seems a little hollow today, but admittedly, we try to make sure we reach out to all parties, and not everybody's going to be tuned into the softball, and maybe you want to watch a little Major League Baseball, and that's fine too. I, for one, have been swept away, as noted throughout the show today, by women's softball, as a lot of people have. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one. Lots of emails, lots of texts and tweets and the like on the various sites saying, Cameron, I don't know if you're watching, because a lot of you know that in the past we had a famous promo. That's okay. That's all right. That involved the fact that women who play softball, basketball for that matter too, women are just more positive people, I think, than men in general. And I was making light of the fact that a girl can strike out looking and you just, that's all right. That's okay. And it bothered me because, damn it, it's not all right. You can't be striking out in this situation. I need you to move the runners over or put the ball in play. And over the years, back in the day, it was not a lot of fun to watch women's softball. The game's changed a lot, and we're good at it, and I'm watching, and I like it, and a lot of people feel the same way, and it's kind of fun to watch that happen. Proud of these girls and this program and what they're attempting to accomplish now. And it's been so dramatic. I think that's the other thing. Even if you're lukewarm on softball or something, you can't deny the level of drama and intensity in these moments. It's been fantastic. And time and again, seemingly a different girl every night making plays.
And that's where, it changed yesterday versus the game against Georgia or Oregon. I mean, yes, those needed to happen. But to play back-to-back against LSU in the Super Regional and get those two
win them both, yeah.
The crescendo pays off in that moment because you have an extra innings win in the first game. And in the second game, it pays off, and now you're going to the WCWS. And you play UCLA, and it's dramatic for all the wrong reasons last Thursday. But then you fight and claw right back to the same position against the same team.
Yeah.
And you beat them to force a winner-take-all entry into the Final Three. And that game is just enthralling because we're swinging the stick left and right.
Oh, we will hammer the ball out of the yard on the regular. Now we're facing a Washington team that hasn't given up a home run in the postseason, so we'll see if the bats stay this hot, this locked in. But obviously, if you can vanquish the likes of Oregon and UCLA, you've got a chance here to do some great things, and so it'll be fun. I'd love to see it happen. These girls are fun to root for, too. They have such joy when you watch them play. I think that's something that I've really enjoyed watching. And let me make this observation, and I know we lost the baseball team, the regional, but one thing that I do see in women's sports in general, but in softball, is it's constantly positive. It's constantly positive. So, I get it. Sometimes you're like, all right, you can't strike out looking and get a high five from me. But they're constantly singing and happier than hell to be out there and celebrating each other's great plays. And it's just salty and stale when you watch the men and you're like, it could maybe some young kids could use a little enthusiasm, just a little infusion of life there. I don't know, just an observation.
Well, I think part of it too is that if you ask people who have covered this stuff or who have attended the College World Series games from different programs, the softball community is quite small, and so most of these people, be it parents on travel teams or club teams, or a lot of kids from the West Coast or the Southeast, they all kind of know each other. The coaches know each other.
They played in the elite whatevers, and
it's a family.
Yeah.
Now you're rolling the dice with your kids, and it's my time to beat you when it's when it's time to play ball. But I mean, you look at last week, the Good Samaritan story for Florida State. Oregon's bus breaks down, and then we drag them to the tournament, and then Coach Alameda tweeted out that a young lady forgot her jersey, and so she left it on the bus that Florida State had for them. So then they go grab the jersey and bring it to the ballpark because they're about to play. And then, after the service, Oregon, we send them home too. So we brought them to the park and we sent them home. But it seems like they're a bit of a family there where it's so professional in some of the other men's collegiate sports that you don't have time for that type of embrace.
I've enjoyed it, man. It's been fun. And you know what else? Over the weekend, I cracked up. I mean, you talk about needing a distraction from the pain it's caused by a terrible decision from your coach. Not only did the women provide that for us, but did you watch the Women's U.S. Open? Did you watch the golf?
I did.
Me too.
I'm the fringe sport freak of all time now.
Golf is golf. I've said that for a long time. Like, I feel like golf is golf. You can just watch golf. Either you can put a good swing on the ball or you can't.
Now, I checked in because yesterday I was desperate to watch Memorial, but they moved up the tee times and nobody wanted to pick it up on television, which was just epically dumb.
Yeah, why does the Memorial end at 2 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon? What the hell is that about?
The weather reports were so damning that they wanted to wrap it up in time, and Golf Channel has to televise the Italian Open, the European Tour event.
They got stuck doing that. That's right.
But then they go to Golf Central and they air Memorial at noon. I was like, okay, so at least we're going to catch the back nine. No, they aired the beginning of the coverage on tape delay.
Yeah,
it was whatever, stipulations were there were stupid. Anyway, I learned about how big the lead was for the one.
And choking it away?
Right. So I check in on the back nine in between the two softball games.
Did you see her throw up to 7 and go, oh, this is going to be a problem?
And that was the moment I said, it's okay, I have an option here.
Oh, well, so she goes from a commanding lead to a 4-shot lead just like that. And first thing she does is hit a tee off the next hole, off the box on the next hole, and yank it left into the rough. Now, it's not buried or anything, but so you're hitting an iron because you're afraid to hit your 3-wood since you just misplayed your 3-wood.
Yep.
Which already tells me alarm bells are going off, and you pull said iron into the rough.
Yeah.
I thought, we're going to see a collapse. This isn't good.
Well,
and I watched.
And it turned out, I watched most of the playoffs, so it turned out she ends up escaping with a couple of great up and downs, no less. But it's funny how one swing can spook you, and I really thought, you can look back through time, and there's one swing that changes everything around, even on Saturday in a very small way for Tiger, watching him. There was an iron he was hitting. It was a wedge from 140, whatever. He's trying to work it right to left. And that shot has been, during his return to prominence, a left to right, no brain, 3/4. I mean, it's just, and 10 feet or better. He's trying to work it right to left, screws it up, and it ruined everything from a ball striking standpoint for the last 4 or 5 holes of his round.
Also apparently ruined his mindset for putting because he couldn't make a putt to save his life. That was crazy. How many 5-foot putts can you miss?
As I've said, he needs a caddy who can read the greens. His eyes are changing as time goes along, and he needs somebody who can help him because he even admitted to it. He said, I didn't feel comfortable with my lines yesterday. Well, if somebody could give him something to be comfortable with.
Stevie!
Right.
Stevie, the U.S. Open is coming. We don't have time to work through the kinks. You've got a long-standing relationship. Let bygones be bygones. The man needs you. Get the hell out of New Zealand. Get back over here, and let's go. Let's start winning majors again because the rest of the game is there. He's proven that he's all right. Doesn't have the yips on the chips or anything like that anymore. Stevie, pay that man his money, Tiger. Get your boy back on the bag.
He gave away 5+ shots from inside 5 feet with the putter.
It was ridiculous. I was chuckling after a while. I was like, well, that's what we're doing out here today? It's so rare in sport that you can watch a man in the midst of a professional competition, whether that's the NBA Finals or Major League Baseball or the NFL, or in this case, professional golf, and say with conviction and know it to be true that you could have been done better with some of those 5-foot putts or at anything.
Or a 2-foot putt. I mean, a couple from 2 or 3 feet.
Well, it's like last week when Jordan missed a 15-inch putt. Literally, I thought, no, it's one of the rare times I could say I would make that putt. Jordan, I will make that putt. Give me your putter. I'm going to make that putt. What the hell are you doing? I mean, literally, all right? You never get to do that.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch baseball and a guy strikes out on 98 around the letters, you can't say, oh, I'd have put that in play. No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have come close. You'd have been scared to death standing in that box. Or that you would have done, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But you can legitimately say if you took 27 3-point shots like Houston did in a row, you'd make one. You'd do better than they did. Like, you can
a lot of them were open.
Yeah, well, most of them. You could legitimately say that, and you might be right. I mean, I'd probably bet on you. I'd probably bet on you to make one at the very least.
You could bet on me to shoot 27 from half court. I make one. I heard you mention that on the headlines.
Yeah, from half court.
I could shoot 27 from half court. I'll make one.
It's not as safe a bet. I'm betting on you from 3 though. I'm
good
definitely
at that shot.
betting. I'm betting. And I know I'm betting on myself from 3. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And I'm going to bet on Tom Lang, the putter, and me, the putter, from 5 feet in on a number of those putts. Now, I'm not going to make all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are sliders. I got you. Oh, man, what are we doing here?
No, but in some ways, in those moments, as long as it's not a left or righter, because that's
that's a little squirrely.
A little dicey.
Yeah,
but the faster the putt, the better, because you just got to get it started.
On the line.
Yeah.
Here we go. Probables. Let's fire it up. Wrap it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Yanks, Tigers, Domingo Germán, and Mike Fiers. Royals, Angels, Danny Duffy, Nick Tropino. We got D-backs, Giants, Zach Godley, and Derek Holland. We got the Braves and the Padres, Julio Teheran and Clayton Richard. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Baseball's stupid Monday schedule.
It lingered there to touch your hair and walk
with me. What you doing with the Cubs this weekend? I didn't look.
Oh, we got swept.
All summer long.
Was that a dig, or did you really not see?
I literally did not see a single Major League Baseball game this weekend, not even my Pirates. I know we lost, too, but I didn't see it. I didn't see a Major League Baseball game this weekend. I usually do. It feels terrible. I'm not going to make a dig. My team's 30-29. I'm not digging at you guys.
I think Golf Channel is going to be the play for the summer for me. I think I'm just going to keep it to Golf Channel.
You know what I can tell as we say goodbye here? I can tell you don't like this particular version of the Mets.
No, there's no even the ones with Terry the last couple of years that weren't great. They fought hard. They cared for each other. And the clubhouse was such that guys didn't want to leave or be traded from it. This looks like everybody's just collecting checks. So that's hard.
It's never a good feeling, man. You're rooting for Laundry at that point.
Right. Yeah. Well, and Steven Matz is pitching well. That tells me everything I need to know. Oh, sure. Right now, there's nothing on the line. Steven, nothing on the line. Matz.
Oh, man. Good work out of you. Good work out of you too, Matthew. Be well, everybody. The softball tonight, 6:45 begins our coverage, 7 o'clock first pitch.
And then, obviously, the Braves game joined in progress.
After the Knowles win.
That's right.
That'll be a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, be well, everybody. Go Knowles. Talk to you guys later.